on the wall. So you might as well do it sooner rather than later. And that's frustrating, Whitey, because I'm driving in and I'm thinking about, I still believe this team, I think they're 2 games out of the 5th spot or 6th spot, something like that. I still believe there's a lot of basketball left to be played. I still believe this is a postseason, a playoff caliber team. Now, what happens on the court takes a back seat. Like, I don't see how, until February 6th at least, the focus can be on winning basketball games right now. Right. This, to me, kind of derails this season.
You know, the day that you guys flew to L.A. and we found out they were firing Mike Brown, we had on this show, we had the beat reporter for the Sacramento Bee.
Jason Anderson. Yeah,
Jason Anderson came on, and I asked him, and again, this is opinion, but I asked him, do you think Mike Brown was disappointed that De'Aaron Fox let his situation kind of disturb the focus? And he said, yeah, I think he was. I mean, to me, I think that was part of it. So this has been a distraction going back even further than what we're dealing with today. And there's also this element, you know, as we're just considering, like you say, all different aspects of this. You look at the standings right now, the Spurs are chasing the Kings.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to turn around. If someone's climbing up a tree behind you, chasing you up a tree, you don't want to hand them an axe, Drapes, right?
Help them out, right?
Oh,
yeah. But the problem is the Kings are in a lose-lose situation, if you will. Like, what can they do, Whitey? If your star player says, we want out. I mean, because Miami's going through it right now with Jimmy Butler. You know, according to Windhorse, they've lowered their asking price in any potential trade for Butler. The players have a lot of control, and the players know, and you see it with Jimmy Butler, they can make life difficult for an organization. I don't think De'Aaron's that kind of guy, just from everything I know, but he's dealing with Clutch Sports. You know, they wield a heavy hand, and, you know, we're a small market team. And so, you know, if you're Monty and Wes and those guys, you listen to offers. Somebody, what if you get a Mikal Bridges kind of package from somebody? 4 or 5 first-round picks, 2 quality players, something like that.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. If Cam Johnson is worth, maybe, we'll see, but if he's worth 2 first-round picks, how many first-round picks is De'Aaron Fox worth?
It got to be 4 or 5. I think, in my eyes, it got to be 4 or 5. You know, and a pick swap or 2, if you will, and a player. I mean, because here's the thing, De'Aaron Fox isn't even up as a free agent this offseason.
Right.
You get a year and a half of De'Aaron Fox if you're a team. And, you know, if you're Monty and Wes and you're looking, you know, you don't have any other recourse but to look at a potential trade, you want to maximize that, because free agency isn't going to help you. You got to do it, as Whitey says, through the draft, through trades, or through development. And so when I look at it, and if you do you got to get it right. You got to get a haul, and you can't set yourself back a decade or a generation or whatever.
Obviously, you don't want to trade a guy like De'Aaron Fox for pennies on the dollar. You know, you don't want to do that.
Right.
But if you have the opportunity to get something done here, I say yes. Do it as quickly as possible. Whoosh. Sever ties. Yeah.
Even if it's pennies on the dollar.
No. I'm saying you don't want to do that. But if you can get a decent offer that you like, you know, and if Clutch Sports is driving this whole thing, you know, hey, make it happen. We'll do it for this. Really try to get a good deal here. And I think they can still, you know, you can't play the victim here. And we as Kings fans can't, this is not fair. The Kings and poor Kings and De'Aaron Fox. No, let's go. Let's make the best of this situation. If he doesn't want to be here, if Clutch Sports doesn't want to be here, fine. Thanks for everything. Goodbye. Let's see what they can get back.
Yeah, because, and here's the thing. If it's, you know, if it's already some burned bridges there, if the guy has already told you he does not want to be here, I'm with you on that. But let me ask you this. If from an organizational standpoint, you feel like, I might be able to get something better in the offseason. More teams, you know, depending on salary cap and all that, might be easier to move and get a better package in the offseason. Do you sit on it then?
No, because no one's going to trade for him then, because he's, you know, Clutch Sports will tell all the teams, you could trade for him, but he's only going to be there a year at most. Why would anyone make that deal for him?
But it's the same thing right now, right?
That's right. What I'm thinking. It's got to be the Spurs. You know, for all the talk of, they're open to all the
they got
deals.
assets. They got the assets too to get it. They got young players and they got picks.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a Keldon Johnson and who else? Vassell in there or Sohan or something like that, and 4 first-rounders.
Your buddy Chris Paul.
CP3 coming back here, some veteran leadership.
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated because, like I said, I still think this team can do some special things, get to the playoffs. But now it's like it's about to be blown up here. Before it really even they get cooking. They're 11-4 under Doug Christie now.
Would you trade him somewhere else just to spite him, even if the return wasn't out of this world?
Nah.
See, I don't think you could do that either.
Nah. I would never do anything.
You got to take emotion
spite.
out of it.
You got to. You have to sort of do, and I feel the same way if I'm Miami. I have to do what's best for my organization. Mm-hmm. And so it wouldn't be in spite. I'm not sending him to, Utah in spite. I'm saying, Utah's giving me 5 first-rounders. They make the best deal. And so at this point, and we're all just assuming, De'Aaron in his camp has said, he's not going to re-sign. He wants out. If we're basing it on that, at this point, if you're Sacramento, you have to do whatever the best deal is for you.
Right.
It's not, I know, Darren, you got 8 years of service. We're going to take care of you and send you.
Nope.
No, we're not in the business of doing that, I don't think. And so, man, you know what, too, Whitey? I was thinking about Drape's takes. This is before all this news was coming out. And, I was going to talk about the game last night. Obviously, nobody cares about that game right now. But I also was going to think, man, I can't wait till February 6th comes and goes. Yeah. That was going to be one of my takes because, this trade talk is just wild right now. It's all over the place, but things are really heating up right now.
I think there's 2 things that are being widely reported about the De'Aaron Fox-King situation that, while they may be technically true, I think essentially they are not true at all. One is, and I've seen it already in a number of places, De'Aaron Fox wants to play in either San Antonio or Sacramento. Mm-hmm. No, he don't want to play here, right? For the time being, he's okay here, but he doesn't want to be here. He wants to be in San Antonio. The other thing is, like we were just discussing, a lot of reports say other teams, there's a lot of teams are going to be interested, and the Kings will be looking at a lot of different teams. But I don't think those teams, if De'Aaron only wants to go to one place, and if that place is San Antonio, those other teams, like we were saying, no one's going to offer you near what he's worth for 1 year of De'Aaron Fox.
1 year rental. And that's some of the power the player has.
Yeah.
That's why the player has so much control, and he's going to become a free agent at some point. And so here's the thing, though. We look at what Indiana was able to do with Pascal Siakam. New York was able to do with OG Anunoby. Those were 2 good picks, 2 good trades back for the Toronto Raptors. There has to be, let's say San Antonio is number 1. There has to be a great trade that the Kings can make that would get back great assets. And so
I know they have a ton of firsts.
Ton of firsts. And so they got picks and they have some young players. I mean, think about it. A guy like
Devin Vassell.
Yeah.
I love that. That doesn't do it, man. I'll be honest. I think we got to start keeping it a little more harder than a buck, man. David Vassell for a secondary star.
Part of the package.
Hold up, Jay.
I'm not saying.
What did you call De'Aaron?
He's a secondary star. He's not a secondary star in this league.
No, I'm letting you expound on that.
Okay, but before I expand, do you not believe De'Aaron Fox is a secondary star in this league? You think he's higher?
I think he has first star potential. How about that?
I agree. I think he has superstar potential.
Yeah.
Without going down this rabbit hole, we've talked about this a million times. Mm-hmm. He has superstar potential. For whatever worth, he's just not seen as a superstar in the league right now. We can agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, David Vassell, if we're starting, are we starting there?
I want him to be part of a package. Believe me, I'm in no way suggesting, give me Devin Vassell and we're good. I just like him. I think you're going to get players and picks back. I would like him to be part of it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, if that were the deal, that'd be a horrible team.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the starter where we're looking at, I think we're in trouble.
So what are you trying to get back then, Jay? What's a package that, I mean, is it another star player coming back?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think if you are in the Kings position, you absolutely have to start to ask around and look for someone that is And just as you guys have talked about, they're definitely going to be pennies to the dollar. That's how this operates. Mm-hmm. But I think you got to get as close to a 50-cent piece as possible. You might not be able to get the whole dollar, but you sure better be looking to get a 50-cent piece. Mm-hmm. Is David Vassell even close to Devin Vassell close to a 50-cent piece?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
He's a 20-point per game scorer.
You think he has second-tier star capability?
I think he has second tier, person on a.
But in no way is that even up. In no way, shape, or form. Oh, we have Chris Mannix coming up?
We do.
Yeah, we'll talk to Chris Mannix from SI. We'll take a look at some of the draft assets the Spurs have as well. Enticing. That and more coming up on this interesting day on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Hey, it's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and the regular season is over, but the high hand bonuses, those are not. $500 per primetime football game, whether it's weekend, Monday night, whatever it may be. And those bonuses available until the season ends, including the big game on February 9th. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Chris Mannix going to join us from Sports Illustrated. See what he knows about the De'Aaron Fox situation with, according to Sam Amick, with Clutch Sports telling the Kings at some point, you're probably better off trading him sooner rather than later. So, came out today, the Kings open to dealing De'Aaron Fox before the deadline. I'm telling you, Drapes, I welcome this. This thing has been a cloud hanging over the organization. And it wasn't going to go away, apparently. So let's deal with it.
Open it. You're open to moving on.
I want to move him.
You ready to
things that are going to help me
get this saga done over in the past.
And it's his choosing. That's fine. Good for you. You know what? Goodbye. But you have to obviously be smart about it and get something back that's worth that, because he is one of your prime assets as everyone else.
I agree with you from this point, Whitey. I don't want this dragging on the rest of the season.
That's it.
Off season, into next trade deadline, next season, and everything like that. I mean, if the writing is on the wall, the writing is on the wall.
Yes.
If you're Sacramento. And, we know Monty and Wes aren't afraid to make the big move, aren't afraid to trade a beloved player. And I think because we are who we are, Sacramento, it behooves us, to your point, to get something done. We're not, LA, all right, we're just going to keep it and let you walk, and then we'll just re-sign somebody and use that cap space.
Right.
We're not in that business of doing that. And so
you have a smaller margin for error when it
Right.
comes to managing your assets, and he's a very big asset. So
how did we get to this point?
let's find
Whitey?
out from your buddy, longtime
Yeah.
friend of the station from SI, Chris Mannix. Chris, thank you so much for your time. What do you think of Drape's question? How did the Kings get to this point?
Oh, it's tough because this was as recently as a year and a half ago, one of the brightest young teams in the NBA. And De'Aaron Fox's play was a big reason for that. The 48 win season, beating Golden State or playing Golden State rather in that first round. It just seemed like everything was on the upswing. But clearly, De'Aaron Fox does not want to be in Sacramento. Now, I'm not entirely sure exactly what his reasons are. If it's organizationally, if it's personally, there's a lot of reasons he could have for wanting a trade. But what's happening right now is his agent, Rich Paul and Clutch, are kind of taking a page out of it.
Sorry,
What's
go
that?
ahead. Oh, that's a technical error. You go ahead, sir.
Sorry, no, they're basically taking a page out of the Anthony Davis playbook, right? Like this is kind of the exact play that AD ran in New Orleans, where he didn't demand a trade necessarily, but made it clear to the Pelicans that he wasn't signing an extension in the offseason, which has the same weight as a trade demand. So if you're a team and you're looking to maximize value, the sooner you trade a player, theoretically, the more value that you can get. So, it certainly puts the Kings in a tough spot, but I don't see any other option but to aggressively pursue a deal.
Yes.
Our guy Chris Mannix joining us here on the Drive, guys. Mannix, what's up, man? It's your boy Drapes. Usually when we have you on, we go back and forth, but these are serious times here in Sacramento, my man. Serious times. And I'm looking at your social media account here on X, on Twitter. You bandied about the Rockets, maybe the Spurs, also another team that could be in the mix. What do you think the market is going to be for a guy like De'Aaron Fox?
I think it'll be pretty robust. All things considered, he has a movable contract in today's NBA with the mid-30s, 34 or 5 million, whatever it may be for this season. That's something you can make work financially. And there are a lot of teams out there that, over the last 6 months have expressed some degree of interest. The Heat were one, both Texas teams in San Antonio and Houston. The Clippers have been interested. The Lakers have been interested. Now, clearly, you're not giving up real capital to get De'Aaron Fox unless you've had back-channel conversations with his agent to figure out if he wants to be there, if he's willing to sign a long-term contract. So that whittles down the list pretty considerably. You've heard, I really believe, guys, that it's down to the two Texas teams. There's been connections. I don't know that I've read some of the reporting. I don't know that San Antonio is the team that Fox wants to go to, but it would make sense. The chance to pair with Victor Wembanyama for, the next 10 years has got to be appealing. That team is going to be on the lookout for a long-term point guard. But the real wild card to me is Houston, because, Houston, they've been telegraphing to anyone that will listen for most of the year that they're not going to break things up, that there's only a certain type of player that they would shake up their roster for, they would trade their assets for. And look, Devin Booker was at the top of their list, and Devin Booker's not going to be made available by Phoenix. But De'Aaron Fox might be another, because, his age, and he fits into what the Rockets are going to need long-term. Fred VanVleet is there now, but he's effectively on an expiring contract. There's a team option on VanVleet for $44 million next year. And if you're a team like the Kings that's looking for the best assets, Houston's kind of it, right? Like Houston, Jabari Smith is a really good player, but the emergence of Amin Thompson has effectively taken him, certainly out of the starting lineup and maybe further up back into the rotation. Guys like Cam Whitmore and Tari Eason, these are good young players. And on top of that, the Rockets control many of the Suns' draft picks over the next few years by virtue of the trades that have been made with various teams. So they possess the most capital to make, I think, the most appealing offer to Sacramento. The question is, does De'Aaron Fox want to be there?
Chris Mannix with us, and that's really classy of you to talk nicely about the Rockets after what they did to your Celtics last night. That was incredible, Chris. But how good is De'Aaron Fox? That's one of the key questions of this whole thing. How good is he? How good is he in terms of how he's perceived around the league?
Is he the ascendant superstar maybe we thought he was 2 years ago? Maybe not. Is he better than some of what we've seen in the first half of this season? Probably so. I think wherever De'Aaron Fox gets moved to, you'll see something in between that type of player. The guy that can give you 25-ish points per game, make shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter, just be a blur in transition. I mean, I don't know what tier you'd put him on. You probably wouldn't put him on that. You wouldn't put him on that kind of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, point guard first tier. But on a second tier of guys, yeah, I would probably put him there. And that's why there is such strong interest, because, whatever team is getting him, they're not only getting him for this season, they're presumably going to lock him up for the next 4 or 5 years, take him into the early 30s of his career and be able to build around him. So if you're a team like the Spurs, or if you're a team like the Rockets, and you're not just looking at this year, and in the case of San Antonio, you're looking for the next 10 years, this guy is someone that you're willing to dig deep into your war chest to go and get.
Hey, Mannix, is there any chance of this being put back in the bottle and De'Aaron Fox remaining with Sacramento? Or is, once Clutch Sports and Rich Paul have their mind made up, it is what it is?
There's definitely a chance the genie can be put back in the bottle temporarily. It's always been hard to make midseason deals. This year in particular, it's incredibly hard. I mean, you look at the guys that have been traded up until this point, the Dennis Schroeders, the Dorian Finney-Smiths, guys these are guys that are making less than $20 million a year. Those are the guys that you can move. The big ticket guys, the Zach LaVines, the Jimmy Butlers, and even De'Aaron Fox, it just gets a lot more complicated in season with all these apron restrictions. That's why I've long believed that it's going to be a much quieter than usual trade deadline, because teams just have a hard way to make it all work. So I can certainly see a scenario where the Kings don't get the kind of offer they believe they deserve for Fox. And yeah, they don't want this hanging over their heads for the rest of the year. I mean, that's a distraction they don't need, especially when they're playing good basketball right now. But if you got to put this off or punt this to the off season, when a lot more options open up, when a lot more flexibility can be had by teams, you can't afford to make a deal over 2 weeks just to make a deal. You've got to be willing to take some pain to get the best long-term deal for your franchise.
Just one more for you, Chris, and you already addressed this, but just to clarify, because to me, this is one of the absolute keys to this deal. How many teams really are in play for De'Aaron Fox if he doesn't have interest in going to other than maybe 2 other cities?
I think that's it. Again, you're not going to, look, if a team emerges and talks to the Fox's people, and then you can get them to get on board with being there, yeah, that unlocks some things. But the teams that make the most sense are 2 of the teams in Texas. That's just, to me, that's what it comes down to. And if you're Houston, my question over the next couple of weeks, and really less than 10 days now, is going to be, are you standing by that position where you want to see what this group has? Because if you're the Rockets, there's an opportunity here, right? Like with VanVleet and that, appealing deal with the team option, plus all the capital you have, plus the young players, all which Cam Whitmore is playing some down there, but he doesn't seem happy at all about what's going on with the Rockets. You've got to peel off some of these pieces eventually. Like, this is a guy that, if I'm Houston and he wants to be there, I would really consider going to the mat for it. If I'm Sacramento, in turn, I don't think there's going to be a better offer this February or next offseason that can top something Houston can, because you can get young players. You can get some salary cap flexibility. You can get some good draft picks, especially if those Suns picks are thrown into the mix, because they're going to be incredibly appealing over the next 3 or 4 years. So those are the 2 teams that I think it's probably going to come down to over the next few weeks.
Great follow on X. You should already know that, Chris Mannix. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Next time, we're going to have to talk about the selfies you're taking in New York. They're just pathetic. It's just pathetic.
Just because me and Adam Sandler are tight, don't be jealous, big fella.
You're not tight. You're not friends. Doesn't know you. See you later.
All right,
Thank you. When we come back, in defense of De'Aaron Fox, next on Sacktown Sports.
Auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-301-4422, 800-301-4422, 800-301-4422.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
You can finally follow through with that resolution to get into that Jeep, Ram, Dodge, or Chrysler you've always wanted at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something, getting you the best deals in town with the best customer experience. See for yourself. They're centrally located right next to Hagan Oaks Golf Course.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, here's where we are today with this report from Shams Charania on the Kings and De'Aaron Fox. In fact, let's hear that report.
Kings have decided to open up on a potential trade of De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th NBA trade deadline. They are now open to listening and potentially moving De'Aaron Fox ahead of the deadline. And he has 1 year after this season remaining on his deal. And there will be plenty of suitors for De'Aaron Fox ahead of free agency in 2026. But I'm told that Fox and his representation, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, have a destination in mind that they want to go to in this trade situation. When we find out where that is, we will inform the audience. But that is something that now just, I don't know, we've been talking about Jimmy Butler for the last several weeks. De'Aaron Fox is a premier player in his prime who is just only ascending from here. This is a massive new domino into the NBA landscape. He has the ability to change the complexion of any team he arrives to. One thing I can say with Rich Paul, we know he's got LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the Lakers. I'm told the Lakers are not part of that destination of choice for De'Aaron Fox potentially, but he is now potentially entering the NBA's trade market.
See, there you go. It's ESPN. So obviously they got to have the Laker angle on it, on anything. So De'Aaron Fox can be traded, not to the Lakers.
But it's Chris, Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, that's LeBron's guy.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
You know, a lot of people think he's doing the bidding for LeBron anyway out there.
Yeah.
Steering AD to the Lakers years ago. So I get it. I get it.
Too. What do you make of this? Gary Provencher in the chateau. Thank you, Gary, for being with us. When did Fox say he wanted out of Sacramento? And he adds, I don't think people should be saying that Fox wants out of Sacramento. If he never said it, it's only going to lower what we can get in return for him. Well, maybe he didn't come out and, call you up, Gary, and understand your point, but it's pretty clear from the reporting that De'Aaron Fox people have made it clear to the Kings that you would better move him sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't think the organization would just come out and be like, yeah, we're open to trading De'Aaron Fox if something wasn't said behind the scenes about Fox's future here. I just think with the Shams report that came out today, for what I think came from the organizational side, it's like, man, where our backs are against the wall. I guess we're being forced to look at trade offers for De'Aaron Fox right now.
Yeah. And again, Gary, the report here from Sam Amick, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports recently informed the Kings that it would be wise to move him sooner rather than later, even if it's not to the team of his choosing. By the way, that destination sounds like we can pretty safely say, no matter what you're hearing, where you're hearing it from, most of the state of Texas, right?
Yeah. It makes sense. Fox is from the state of Texas.
Not here in Dallas at all.
Not Dallas, though. Not Dallas. The other two spots, Houston and San Antonio. From the Houston area, San Antonio has been talked about a lot. And from a Kings standpoint, Whitey, to me, those are two teams with a boatload of assets that make sense. And so the question is, does Monty and Wes open it up to all 29 teams, everybody else? Sent you guys the story earlier from Ian Begley out there in New York. The Nets might look to get involved.
We had him
Friend of the show
Friday.
Oh, y'all had him on Friday.
Yeah, man. You know what we do.
Oh, sorry about that. I wasn't here, big fella. I
was
wasn't here.
vacationing.
I was working hard, man. But yeah, so he says, the Nets per sources are among the teams that view Fox as a trade target and have been monitoring the Fox situation in SAC. And so it seems like if you're De'Aaron Fox, let's say your preferred destination are two of the Texas teams. We talked about that. If you're the Kings, do you abide by that? Do you facilitate that and help steer them there?
If they can give me what I want, then it looks like perhaps if there's a plan B, it might be in Florida.
Orlando or Miami, potentially, which makes sense. First of all, you look at Orlando, that's a team with some really good young talent. Maybe they're a De'Aaron Fox away from competing for a championship, or at least the Eastern Conference when you add in Paolo and obviously Franz Wagner. From a Kings standpoint, I don't like whatever package Orlando would send back, Whitey, because they're not including Franz or Paolo. I would need one of those guys coming back. Now you look at a team like Miami. Jimmy Butler to me is off the table. I'm not doing a deal involving Jimmy Butler to Sacramento. But a Jaime Jaquez, a Khalil Ware, we've been talking about. Those are two good young players. Maybe Tyler Hero gets thrown in. And some picks as well. And so Miami could be a destination. So I guess we're looking at those four teams, right? Houston, San Antonio, Orlando, and Miami as potential spots for De'Aaron.
Yeah. and maybe San Antonio 1, Houston 2, but it's somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Pretty much what we're talking about. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Kevin's been on hold. Let's see what's up. Hey, Kev, what can we do for you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
Uh-huh.
I want to add a few observations about the Fox situation and see what you think. I'll start by saying I'm with Whitey. I say get her done and move on. But what do you think? The last 12 games, the team has played much better under Christie, and Fox hasn't really played a prominent role in that. I think he was out the first 2 or 3 wins under Christie. Hasn't scored at the level we're used to in a few of these other wins. That gives you a glimpse of maybe what the team could do without him. And then you get a player or two that can help you now and some draft capital that we sorely need. I'd say it's time. Let's go.
Thanks, Kevin. Obviously it comes down to the details. Well, who exactly are we talking about? But the way you spelled it out there, 2 guys that can help me now, plus multiple good picks. I kind of like that.
Right. And if I'm the Kings, I'm not doing pennies on the dollar.
No,
I'm not. I'm just not. This is our franchise star. Right. You're not over a barrel yet. You do have some leverage as of right now. And I don't think De'Aaron would go to Jimmy Butler route, start missing planes and walking out of practice and things like that. And so they have time to get this done. I know we want to get it done. You talked about, getting it done soon, but you don't give away your Ferrari, your Jaguar, your Mercedes-Benz, if you will, for pennies on the dollar. This is your prime asset here.
Right.
You got to get this right.
I don't know where you were on this. I was already thinking, look, I don't want to trade him, but I'd be open to it, given that we're not sure where he wants to go. Again, this was before today. I was already thinking, hey, if someone calls me up and says, what do you want for De'Aaron Fox? I would listen, whereas in the past, nope, hang up. So I was already to that point. So now this just, all right, to me, it's like, there's no turning back. Now of course, there's a caveat. You don't just give them away. But right now, the focus is on getting a good deal that's going to help you now and set you up. And maybe you get a chance here. All of a sudden, it's like, it's kind of serendipitous. Wow, I get a chance to recoup some draft picks and get younger in the immediate and in the longer term, when otherwise I wasn't going to have a way to do that.
Yeah, and I'm of the belief too, Whitey, nobody is untradeable. Like everybody,
except Jay.
Jay got to stick around. But if I'm Boston,
about to call clutch and put that pressure on y'all.
You're right. If I'm Boston and the Nuggets are offering Jokic for Tatum, I'm doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm Denver and the Celtics are offering Tatum, Brown, and 3 firsts for Jokic, I'm considered. And so to your point, nobody. If I'm a GM, I'm doing my due diligence. You should know that your assets value at all times around the league. It may not be serious. You're not looking to trade De'Aaron or anything like that. But if you were, and somebody came with a Mikal Bridges kind of Bridges got, what was it, 4 or 5 first-round picks?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, damn, if somebody's going to blow your doors off like that, then you consider it. And so that's where the position I think the Kings should be in right now. It's like, all right, we don't want to lose our guy. This is our guy, De'Aaron Fox. But if we had to, what are you guys going to offer?
Yeah, it looks like the Nets are unlikely because there's no reason to think he would want to go there.
Ben Simmons?
But what I was going to say is if you went back to the Nets, because the reports are they, of course, would have interest. You go to the Nets like, look, we're going to need Cam, and just that ain't going to get it done, right?
Yeah.
We've been quibbling and going
What
back
about
Cam. We're going to definitely need
both
Cam.
Cams and 4 or 5 picks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ah, man. Something's got, we're what, 8 days away, 7 days away, 9 days away from the trade deadline?
You got Philly tomorrow and I know it's like, well, who cares about that? You do have to win games in the
Still
meantime.
got to win games.
And you got Philly with no Embiid tomorrow.
Let me say this, though, real quick. I'm going to point this out. De'Aaron Fox did post on his Instagram page about an hour or so
Alan
ago.
said something about it. I haven't seen it. Is it like a goodbye thing? Or
No, it doesn't. It's him in a jersey. It's some of the highlights from Brooklyn last night. Him and Luke Laux hugging, his Fox One shoes, the colorways he had, and then a ninja emoji, if you will. read into it whatever you want, but
what do you read into?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't even know if he actually posted this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It could be a handler, and so, but I find it kind of strange timing. An hour ago, I mean, this has been going on for a few hours. That is he trying to send some sort of message, or I don't know. But I thought it was interesting that he posted about an hour ago.
De'Aaron Fox's people have told the Kings, yeah, you should consider trading him. What does that mean for the franchise? We're back with that. More of your calls, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll tell you again where we think he's going to go next on Sacktown Sports.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Every school day was a vaping day for me. It wasn't a social thing anymore. Suddenly it became something I was doing independently every day. Recently, I was sitting next to somebody on the freeway and I saw them vaping. I was like, wow, is that what I look like? And that didn't sit too well with me. That image has been a big motivation to quit.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We may be getting ready to say goodbye to De'Aaron Fox. We don't know. But on this day, we're saying hello. We're welcoming back to the Chateau and the show, Curtis Hicks back with us.
Ah, Curtis Hicks.
Curtis Hicks says, what's going on, everybody? I had to take a break because I didn't want to see our team getting trashed by some people that just want to tear our team to pieces. And I've come back to the same rhetoric.
Right?
What a day to come back for the great Curtis Hicks.
I'm with you, Curtis. I woke up thinking we're going to talk about a nice little win last night. 11-4 under Coach Christie, a chance to make a playoff push. And now all that just doesn't seem to matter anymore, with the trade news and the trade chatter. Shams dropping that out there. And so it's tough, man. It's tough. It's and we're going to have this for the next 9 days or so.
Mm-hmm. After Shams reported what he reported, we had this from Chris Haynes. King star De'Aaron Fox is zeroed in on a landing spot as franchise looks to possibly move him. Interested teams will likely be discouraged from trading for him because he's set to become a unrestricted free agent in 2026. Fox's unwillingness to sign an extension has positioned the situation here. So it looks like San Antonio is that spot, but it looks like Houston is also a consideration. And Drapes, I know you had something from Zach Lowe. I have it here if you don't have it.
Yeah, go ahead. You can say it.
Okay.
You can say it. Yeah.
Let's see. Zach Lowe. San Antonio is indeed the team I hear most from sources, and one that makes a ton of sense. One angle here, Kings just fired their coach. Clear, make playoffs this season governing approach. How does a Fox deal fit into that if the return ends up pick heavy?
Ooh.
That would be if you end up trading De'Aaron Fox for a bunch of picks, then the argument from the club's side of it would be, well, we're resetting, right? We're moving it, we're kicking it down the road a little bit, but we're still competitive this year. Look how well we played without him. I don't know if people would buy that.
Right.
But if you get picks and not really anything of significance back, that would be the argument to fans.
Well, I was listening.
I don't think it's a good one, but that's what they do.
I was listening to Sirius XM NBA radio on the drive in, Justin Termody and Eddie Johnson. And that was one of the things they were talking about. Like, if you get back young players and picks or a pick-heavy deal and not a veteran that can help you now, what does that signal for Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan and some of the veterans on this team? It's like, do you do a full rebuild a la Utah, OKC, something like that? Or ideally, if you do make a move, I want to get back somebody that can help us now. Because I don't think we're far off. Is there another young guard or player out there that, whether it's Jalen Green and Reed Shepherd or somebody like that can sort of come in and help us and help stem the tide and keep us relevant out there instead of bottoming out?
Here's a quick look at what San Antonio has in terms of draft assets from basketball.realgm.com. 2025 first-round pick from Atlanta, 2025 first-round pick from Charlotte, protected 1 to 14. 2025 first-round pick from Chicago, protected 1 through 10 next year. Then you got 2026 first-rounder, second-rounders, first-rounders down the road. But as far as the immediate 3 first-rounders, according to Real GM, but other than the Atlanta pick, they're protected. So it's going to be at least 3 firsts for De'Aaron Fox, right? It has to be.
It has to be. It has to be. I mean, unless you're talking about another star player, unless you're talking about, and I don't know who the guy would be. Is it a Zion? Or I'm just throwing out names.
Right.
It got to be a somebody that can also be a potential franchise player too. I think.
I know a lot of fans have been looking at it going, ooh, what about Stephon Castle? I don't know if the Spurs would want to move him.
Yeah,
and
they like him, right? And he's young.
Think they really like him.
Yeah, it's I don't see it. I mean, and you look at Castle's timeline with Wembanyama, and I understand you get a guy like Fox, and that puts you into the category right now of Western Conference contenders. But I think they'd be reluctant to give up a Stephon Castle.
They want to give you, like you said earlier, Sohan and
Keldon Johnson and 3 first rounders or something like that.
Hey, we know you love Harrison Barnes.
Hey, HB playing well for them down there, man. HB's playing well, and so I don't know, man. I'm just Whitey. It's part of the business. I understand that, but damn, I wish the focus could be on the playoff push and everything like that. We got the trade deadline coming up a week from Thursday. And this is how it is in the NBA. And I'll tell you this, fellas, real quick. The NBA is one of the greatest leagues in the world. The NBA is several billion-dollar industry, not just because of the X's and O's on the court. It's because of stuff like this. Like the NBA trade season is year-round. And I think fans love stuff like that, but it's hitting close to home right now. It's hitting close to home.
I know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's talk to Rob. Hey, Rob, you're on with the Drive Guys. What can we do for you?
Hey, guys. Normally I'd say, how's it going? But now I'm saying, how are we holding up with that news?
Yeah, it's tough, Rob. I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling over
I'm doing okay. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about it, Rob.
I'm definitely more on the struggling side. That took the wind right out of my sails. But I do think.
Wow, did we lose him?
We lost you, Rob.
Rob,
you still there?
Yes,
all right, I got you.
You said it took the wind out of your sails, and then we didn't hear anything, and we were gonna send the paramedics out to your house.
Well, I was just saying, I just didn't want to take too much time. Get right to it. I'm kind of agreeing with both of you. I think initially when I hear the news, I am saying, well, Zion's malcontent in New Orleans. He doesn't want to be there. Maybe a change of scenery is what he needs with the team to back him up. And that's a quick that trade works for both of them straight up. But then I also don't know if we could make that happen, being that I got to think that New Orleans wants to try everything they can to hang on to him. But then if you're going to go with someone like San Antonio, I think if San Antonio really wants Fox and that's where he wants to be, you push him to give him everything you can possibly get. Get Castle and get Keldon Johnson. I mean, and maybe throw in Herter with Fox to make salaries work, and then you're looking at it. Then you're looking at maybe something that could work here right now and in the future. So I'll let you guys run with it.
All right, thank you, Rob. How much of it, when it comes to this, is the player saying this is what I want to do, and how much of it is Clutch Sports going, look, this is what's best for you and it's best for us. We'll put you here. We'll play you. We'll put you with Wemby. Obviously, the player is,
right.
The agent works for him, but this is an agency that does have a way of manipulating the big picture. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And we had Chris Mannix on of Sports Illustrated, SI, and he said it's the Anthony Davis playbook. Anthony Davis, for his brand and everything, wanted to go to LA. You play with LeBron and everything like that. And when you look at De'Aaron Fox, and let's look at some of his moves over the last year plus, signing with Clutch Sports, signing with Curry Brand, like Fox, from a business standpoint, has been making some moves where he's taking more control, I feel like, of where it is. And so it wouldn't surprise me if he was interested in going to a bigger market. With that being said, why San Antonio? And I understand he's from Texas, but I look at Victor Wembanyama. If Wemby wasn't there, Spurs wouldn't be on it. But I think any player in the league could view Wemby as the next big thing. National TV all the time, Western Conference Finals. Hitch your wagon to him, and you're playing for championships every year going forward.
When we come back, we'll hear what Doug Christie had to say about De'Aaron Fox last night. He praised De'Aaron. Was there also a slight, subtle jab in there as well? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and the regular season is over, but the high hand bonuses, those are not. $500 per primetime football game, whether it's weekend, Monday night, whatever it may be. And those bonuses, available until the season ends, including the big game on February 9th. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Listen for the Toyota Tahoe Report every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Johnny Mosley to get the latest weather conditions in Tahoe throughout this snow season. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
With the trade deadline rapidly approaching, the Kings are looking at potentially moving De'Aaron Fox, having been informed by De'Aaron Fox's representatives that they'd be better off looking to trade him sooner rather than later. Where does this leave the Kings? Where do they go from here? Drapes, this has to be something that Doug Christie was aware of when he took over, right?
What the potential
obviously, at the very least, that the Fox situation was unsettled to a degree.
Yeah, I would think so. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were aware of it, right?
Yeah.
So he had to be aware of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you think De'Aaron Fox might have been upset that he was essentially blamed for Mike Brown's departure? And that this is what some people are throwing around. Oh, he didn't like it that he got blamed for that and the team didn't support him. If that's true, I think it's because I think this has been going on longer than we think. I think De'Aaron Fox said, Sam Amick had told us the writing was on the wall. I think, now we're wow, he wants out. I think the Kings had been getting the feeling for a while now that De'Aaron Fox probably didn't want to stay. What do you think?
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again. I'm on social media.
I'm getting the sense that I think the Kings have been aware for a while that De'Aaron Fox probably didn't really want to stay.
I'm going to rephrase that. I get the sense that the Kings were very much aware that there was a potential that De'Aaron Fox would not resign. I think how we got from prior to Mike Brown's firing to where we are at this second needs to be examined, because we understood it was untenable. Fox had made the comments he made, trying to win and all that, compete for a championship and everything. How did we go from that to it's wise to trade him sooner rather than later? How did we go from that to, all right, this trade deadline, we're open to moving on from De'Aaron Fox? So what happened? Was it the firing of Mike Brown? Was it the fallout from that and the heat that De'Aaron Fox took from that?
I'm wondering,
like you were saying. But, we read several stories, whether it was our boys Sam Amick and Anthony Slater or Ramona Shelburne at ESPN. We talked about it here on this show as well. De'Aaron didn't have anything to do with the firing of Mike Brown.
But it looked like he did, and the Kings never clarified that.
Like the
organization, they never came out
and said,
no, he had nothing to do with it.
I see what you mean. Like Monty or somebody officially.
They didn't say anything.
Not through media outlets. You're saying,
I don't know.
Let me throw this at you, too. Not only this situation, we go back to last year and De'Aaron Fox in the media and not talking to the media. And so did he feel the organization didn't have his back through that also.
Mm-hmm.
And so, who knows how De'Aaron felt. The thing about it is, I look at this roster and I still think it's a good roster. But De'Aaron Fox, and when he talked to us media day, talking about he doesn't have time and everything, I think he's seeing the light at the end of the end of the road, if you will. I'm not saying he's old or anything like that, but all right, where do I want to compete for a championship? What gives me the best? Obviously, leveraging, my brand, growing who I am, all NBA, all-star, and competing for a championship. I think, 8 years here is a long time, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
8 years is a long, long time. And I get it. But if I'm him, you're probably looking at, all right, I got a chance to take control of my career. Where am I going to go that's going to make me the happiest?
Right.
And I think that's part of what we see happening right now, to be honest with you.
Right. That's from his standpoint, and that's obviously his right. From the Kings standpoint, we talk about culture probably more than we should in sports, and culture, all it boils down to is having everybody on the same page, trying to achieve the same things. And when you've got a guy who's one of, if not your very best player, and he's not sure he wants to be here, it's hard to have a positive culture going. So the Kings, this is an opportunity for them. It's unfortunate they're at these crossroads, but now it's incumbent upon them to move on, to make the best of this and move on. They are having a decent season. They have played, not to be, fooled by a couple games here or there. They have at times played well without him. And no way am I saying, good riddance. But I'm saying, if he wants out, then you got to send him out, get something back, and move ahead. So everybody on the same page.
Are you operating under the premise that it's all over? It's done.
Yes, it should be. And now, if things fall apart and you end up with kind of like what the Heat have now with Jimmy Butler, where, we didn't trade him, but he's coming back. You don't want that. That would be untenable in my opinion. So this opportunity is before you. Move him. Get something back that is worth De'Aaron Fox and move forward with that. Salvage this season, and maybe you're set up. Maybe you're ironically in a better position going forward without him.
Well, let me ask you this then, and I hear you, and I get what you're saying. Do you think we could stomach going back to pre-Mike Brown Sacramento Kings in terms of no hope for the playoffs? Or do you think we move Fox, we can get something that keeps us relevant, if you will?
I think you have to. I know you're kind of threading the needle.
Yeah.
But you have enough right now, and you played well enough without De'Aaron Fox where I think you could serve both masters, still be relevant this year and maybe get some draft assets that would help you as soon as next year. But I know there's a lot of moving parts.
A lot
it's
of
always
moving
easy
parts.
to say, get this and this and this, and
right,
be good.
Right.
It's always easier to say than actually execute.
And that's the thing, you look at Jimmy Butler's situation, and he's saying he only, his camp saying it's Phoenix or bust, basically. What if De'Aaron is saying it's San Antonio or bust, or Houston or bust? That sort of limits us, and if you're those teams, do you feel like you have some leverage now because the player only wants to go to us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give you everything. Sort of like what we saw with Anthony Davis and the Lakers.
Lakers did pretty good in that deal, though. Did they not?
Lakers did?
Yeah. Now they lost. Excuse me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. New Orleans did.
Yes.
But the Lakers gave up everything.
Yes.
Sort of like Carmelo going to New York.
Yeah.
Denver gave up. New York gave up everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're Houston or San Antonio, are you willing to give up everything? Is De'Aaron Fox that guy that you give up everything for?
We don't want everything. We just
want a lot. Oh my gosh. Here's the thing, though. You agree with the Kings stance, based on Sham's report, that they should be open for business regarding once the word came in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't you?
I guess, but I'm almost of the belief, Whitey. The word comes in. I go to De'Aaron. Is there anything we can do to make this happen? Make this marriage stay together? Then if he says nope, then it's like, all right, the writing's on the wall. And it seems like we've reached that point. You would think the Kings would have done that. Is there anything we can do? Any players that we can go out and get? What would make you happy, if you will, De'Aaron Fox? And so I feel like that probably would have already had to have happened for, this story to leak out that they're open to moving on.
Let me just speculate. This is honestly speculation. And it doesn't look like he was going to qualify for the Supermax anyway. He still could.
Right.
But it's possible that Nate never wanted to pay him that much money anyway.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. And here's the thing, too, and this is just my opinion. This has nothing to do with the Kings or really about the Kings. This is for every team. What if as a team you think my player might not be worth that much? Like, yeah, he may be eligible for the Supermax, but we don't value him as much as the Supermax.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so this could be doing the Kings a favor. I don't know, man. I just think this organization has spent a long time trying to get to this point. And for the fact that it could all blow up, because even if you do move on from De'Aaron Fox, there's no guarantee that whatever trade you make is going to work and be a great trade.
Of course.
So what, you get 5 draft picks? What if you botch the drafts?
That's a lot of fans, excuse me, but to your point, a lot of fans on the chat and the text line are saying, what difference does it make if you get picks? The Kings don't do anything with picks.
Right. And I don't know if I'm ready to go through years in the lottery.
Did you say
anything.
5 picks?
I said,
I'll take them.
Yeah, I'll do that.
5 picks.
Oh, you guys, man.
Give me 5 picks. Give me Zach Collins.
Right. 5 picks.
Devin
Vassell, you want it all. You want everybody, right?
Is Pop
Chris Paul
come
on
this
back.
way? We know he's a wine connoisseur. What's happening?
Oh, man.
What'd you think of this? This is
what you got?
Doug Christie from last night. Now, when this caught my ear this morning listening to it, I had no idea that we were going to be talking about trading De'Aaron Fox. So I'm not saying that he was trying to undermine De'Aaron Fox, but I think this is interesting. Doug Christie talking last night about De'Aaron Fox's play.
I think more than anything, like when you get that aggressive Fox, it's a special sight to behold. He can get downhill when he wants. He's got the floater. All of a sudden, the 3 ball starts to fall. He gets to the free throw line. All those things, they add up. And I think even defensively, when he's engaged like that physical presence, and he's a load to deal with. And I was really happy to see it.
What stands out to me about that, and again, this has nothing to do with trading De'Aaron Fox, but this is a criticism we've heard from other coaches of him. Doug Christie said, when you get that aggressive Fox, blah, 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 blah. Also, when he's engaged, no. So that's been a criticism of him, right? Even for Doug
Apparently
Christie,
so.
like,
Apparently
when you
so.
get that Fox, look out. What do we need to do to get that Fox more often?
Yeah, and I think that's where you go from being a star to a superstar if you're De'Aaron Fox. We were talking about it with Jay earlier. Like, I think he has that potential, that superstar potential. We just don't see it on a night in and night out basis. I mean, you look at the previous 5 or 6 games, and I understand he's dealing with some injuries and everything like that. But, when you're a star, when you're a superstar, you show up every single night. You impact the game every single night. And unless you're on a team a la the Celtics, where if you're Jason Tatum, you don't have to. You got so many other weapons. But Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, AD, like I could go down the list. If you want to be one of those guys, you have to have your impact on the game every time you take the floor. We saw it last night against Brooklyn.
Mike
came
Brown
out.
said that all the time.
Right, exactly. We saw it last night with Brooklyn. Fox came out ready, hit his first couple of shots, and man, he was off to the races. Then he was feeling good. How do you come into each game like that? That's the key for De'Aaron Fox. And so it's not a shot or anything like that. It's like, it's recognizing, hey, if you did this, you can be this. You can be that superstar player, that supermax player, but you got to be more consistent with it.
When we come back, we'll look at how this is a really unique situation for the Kings and how that could, if they're not careful, actually work against them next as we continue Drive Guys Sacktown Sports.
The good news, you finally lost the excess weight and found the body you knew was hiding underneath it all along. The better news, InShape Fitness is here to help you maintain your new look And dare we say it, enjoy the process. InShape has everything you need to build muscle and help keep the weight off. From fitness classes and personal trainers to swimming pools and saunas. Plus, plenty of full-length mirrors to admire your new self along the way. We are InShape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
Ad paid for by RFA cancellation. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-823-1687. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-823-1687. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-823-1687. That's 800-823-1687. Again, 800-823-1687.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Thanks for being with us on this emotional day that we found out that the Kings are open to trading De'Aaron Fox. Very interesting comments. Appreciate where everybody is with this. You know, it's difficult for Kings fans. 1970 Ronin says, same old Kings fans. The fans that ran Page out of town for Ron Artest. Oh, those were the days. How about this on Twitter from this is someone I respect a great deal on Twitter, on X, pardon me, with this post. If the Kings do trade De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs, I could definitely see Harrison Barnes playing in a Sacramento jersey. That's from Kyle Ledbetter.
I mean, he did write the book on the Spurs. He would know, right?
That's right.
He's got some inside sources over there.
He just
is he back there?
Are they talking about me?
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
So here's the thing, Drapes. Normally, when a team has a star like this that they're going to trade, they're on the threshold of a rebuild, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so it's part of, well, we trade the star. We're not very good anyway. We get picks and we start to rebuild. The Kings are competitive right now. So it's really unusual for a team that is competitive to have a superstar caliber player that they're trading away in the middle of that. And of course, it could end up hurting them because, as Zach Lowe pointed out, if they're hell-bent on staying competitive this year, then maybe you don't get picks back. Can you get value back if you don't get picks back? It's a very unique situation.
Yeah, it's and usually, to your point, you're probably a middling team, you know, play-in, something like that, and you make the decision, we want to tear it down and rebuild. I don't think the Kings are obviously at that point right now. And so they're trying to, you know, if a deal is made, rebuild on the fly, sort of a win-win, if you will, for both sides.
Is hard to do.
It is very hard to do. And I don't know the players out there. Is an Ingram, somebody like that, going to help you? Is it a Zion, somebody like that? I don't know what kind of deal helps you in terms of getting that caliber of player. You may need, if we talk to San Antonio, may need to get two players that can equal the value of a De'Aaron Fox and some picks, obviously. But that's what's so frustrating about this, Whitey, because, you know, when you look at the standings, sure, they're, I think, in 10th place right now.
Yeah.
But they're only a few games back of being top 4, top 5. And so it's like, if you're Wes and Monty and those guys, and you're waking up and, you know, you learn that, you know, your superstar doesn't want to be here, it's like, damn, but we're this close. We're still in the mix. And now it's like, are we going to hit the reset button? What do we do? And I'm glad I don't get paid, to come up with this and come up with the trade, because it is a little needle you really have to thread here, because you're trying to, if you do make a move, win now and have future assets as well.
Yeah, I know they're playing great since Doug Christie took over. But to me, watching the game last night, and they won that game, and they won by a wide margin, but they stumbled through that game. To me, it's time to get the paddles out. And I'm not saying rebuild, but I'm saying this team still needs something, or they're going to be about what they are now. And I know compared to many, many seasons in the Kings past, this is pretty good. But
right.
Kings fans are not going to be playing every year. That ain't good enough. So this gives you a chance. I'm telling you, clear paddles.
You ready?
It's risky, but
this guy, man, this guy.
Real quick, Whitey, and I think I'm leaning more towards your side, and I probably have been leaning towards your way the last year or so anyway. But do you think a front office of Monty and Wes and the other people that are in the front office can go through another rebuild? Meaning, do you think they'll have the opportunity to take a step back, to take 2 steps forward?
Nah, I don't think
they're going to, huh?
Yeah.
If you have to rebuild. So they really almost have to, for this regime of Monty and Wes and other people, other players that be in the front office, have to kind of,
I think so,
go for it now.
I think that's the mandate.
Ooh, that's exciting though, because that basically means we're gonna have to strap up right now and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're committed to this core. This core needs to be as good as it can be. Well, De'Aaron wants out. All right, then let's work that into it. It doesn't change anything. Makes it maybe trickier, but doesn't change anything.
But that's
my read.
Isn't that funny? Because in reality, we know that's not Monty and this front office's MO. Like, they're calculated, take your time or sit back.
Reptilian patience.
Reptilian patience.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Let's see what Javier has to say. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From Vacaville, Javier. How are you, Javi?
How you doing today, Mr. Gleason and Mr. Jay, Mr. Draper?
What's up, man?
I'm going to be honest. I know this is a flagship station, the Kings. You guys keep it honest. But, this goes out to the organization's, management. This is not De'Aaron Fox wanted to ask out because it's all of a sudden something that he just woke up and thought, hey, this ain't the place for me. But what's prevalent is that the Kings have failed De'Aaron Fox. And it's not a matter of 8 years or 6 years or 5 years. When you have this 2-year window from 22 to 24, and Monty McNair sat on his hands and told everybody, oh, we almost got there. It takes 2 to tango. You have Sabonis at his basketball camp last summer, Domas saying, oh, we finally got this deal done with DeRozan. Man, because the last 3 we couldn't get done. It's not a matter of De'Aaron being like, yo, what's going on? It's like, yo, I'm good, bro. Because I can smell the water in front of me come February 6th. We're not going to get anything done because you're going to say we didn't want to give up the pick, or we didn't get this, or we didn't get that. Every excuse in the book, because Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox are scarier than a ghost. And if you don't believe me, we'll watch whether it's February 6th or this July 6th. The Kings have failed De'Aaron Fox, and it's a shame because it's a fireable offense. The only star the Kings have had since Chris Webber and DeMarcus Cousins doesn't want to play here no more. If we convince Webber to stay, DeMarcus wanted to be here. De'Aaron has gave the city 8 years, and they're going to sit there and put this on Fox. What happened last offseason during the trade deadline, or rather last season during the trade deadline? What about the 22-23 Bean Team trade deadline? Did they acquire anybody worth of value? That's right. They acquired Kessler Edwards and cash considerations in a second-round pick, and now he plays on the Mavericks on a 2-way contract. This is McNair and Wes Wilcox being cowardly. And they're not cowards, but this is the deal where you're going to call the Spurs and say, oh, we'll give you De'Aaron in our spare parts, Kevin Huerter, Lyles, and McLaughlin, and we'll get Cassell or Vassell rather, Kel Johnson, Castle, and Sochan. But those are nowhere near the value of what star De'Aaron is. And if you guys are like, oh, trade him, name a star that's coming back to Sacramento in any deal that's going to want to play here when the star you had gave you 8 years, made the playoffs once, made the play-in once, and you let him walk because you couldn't get the job done as a GM. That's your job. Domas resigned because of De'Aaron. Malik Monk resigned because of De'Aaron. And you know what's going to happen when that De'Aaron leaves? they're going to want to go too. And it might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow, next week, next month. But I promise you, McNair, I'm just telling you, dog, your days are numbered here if you let this happen. And it ain't about a threat. That's a promise. Nobody's going to go to them games when they're winning 33 a year. When DeMarcus' last season's here, who is going to want to watch the Kings without De'Aaron Fox with a bunch of role players to fill his place? Yeah, they play well spot duty when De'Aaron's not playing. But we know dang well the Kings are at full tilt when De'Aaron's in the lineup. Look at last night. 2 bad hands, 3 bad games. He went for 30 last night. Just sit there and say, oh, he doesn't know how to turn it on. Dog, he's been turning on since day when he got here in 2017, the NBA draft.
Thank you, Javi. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Here's where I think that's misguided, and I understand the sentiment, and it's a strong argument. Where the Kings, if they failed De'Aaron Fox, they failed him long before Monty got here.
Right.
In my opinion.
Right.
The first few years. And I know he was a kid. 27, 39, 31, 31, 30. That's where they failed him. If they failed.
Yeah.
The last few years under Monty, 48, 46. This year they're 2 over 500. Yeah, that's not having won a championship, but by Kings standards, that's very good. So I wouldn't pin this on Monty. If De'Aaron feels the team failed him, if as a fan you're going to say the organization failed him, I don't think Monty failed him. I think the failure was in all those years before Monty got here.
Right.
That's my opinion.
No, I'm with you on that. And that's the thing. It's like, that's why it doesn't make sense. Like, you could say he wasted maybe the first 6 years of his career, 5.5. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where the organization, but since Monty's been here, making the move to trade for Sabonis, you got a all NBA center you're playing with. That's not a failure. Bringing in your boy Malik Monk, that's not a move of a failed move for you. Getting DeMar DeRozan, and so I get it. At some trade deadlines, you wanted to get more, but when you look at Monty's tenure, this franchise is infinitely in a better position today than where it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, you look at he was drafted in 2017, right?
Yeah.
So the leaders in win shares in De'Aaron's first few years. Willie Cauley-Stein, Nemanja Bjelica. Good for those guys.
Right.
Rashawn Holmes. But okay, that's not a very good team if those are your best players. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. This roster is so much better than what it was. And so I don't buy that the organization, at least Monty and them, have failed De'Aaron Fox. And that's what's concerning to me, because I don't know if all this happens if Clutch Sports isn't involved. Like, if this was 5 years ago, I get it, Darren. You got reason to want to get out. The organization is in shambles. We're struggling right now. I get it. But now when we're ascending, this doesn't seem like De'Aaron to me. It seems more like, the Clutch Sports Rich Paul effect in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to go back, and even Anthony Davis in New Orleans, I don't know if I heard much of AD wanting out of New Orleans. Then all of a sudden Rich Paul and Clutch comes in, and, you get the rumblings. Like Chris Mennick said, we had him on in the 215 segment. This reeks of Clutch Sports right now.
Right.
And it's sucks.
But that doesn't absolve De'Aaron
No,
Fox
not
of
at all.
any responsibility. Yeah.
Clutch and Rich Paul represent him. Like, he made the decision to sign with those guys.
Mm-hmm. All right, phone calls piling up here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. What's your advice for Monty? I'm sure he'd love to know. Where do the Kings go from here next? Sacktown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers?
eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, it's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Are you with me on this one, Trapes? Over the last few days and weeks, as we've been sifting through these trade rumors, I found myself missing Woj a little bit. Because Woj was, you could rely on it, right? And now we've got a lot of stuff where, well, I'm not sure about that. We've had, like, in a 24-hour period, directly contradicting reports about the same thing. You know? The Kings are close to getting Cam Johnson, and then less than 24 hours later, the Kings are out on Cam Johnson.
Right,
It's just like, wait, well, what's going on? So I missed Woj a little bit.
Yeah.
And thanks to Kyle Ledbetter, he pointed this out to me. This is a Woj bomb from January 28th, 2019.
Ooh.
So on this day, 2019, Agent Rich Paul has notified the Pelicans that Anthony Davis has no intention of signing a contract extension if and when presented, and that he has requested a trade. Paul told ESPN on Monday. It was on this date in 2019.
This date?
Yes.
And then he was traded a few weeks later, right? Like, was that the same? It
was an off season.
Yeah, they didn't actually trade him till June.
June, okay.
Yeah, so it was a few months, and it was Pelicans agreed to trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers for, would you take a haul like this for De'Aaron Fox? Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks, including the number 4 overall 2019 draft pick.
That's a good haul.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good haul.
Yeah.
How many draft picks?
Three.
Damn. Ingram
plus Lonzo, B.I., and Josh Hart. At the time, we had no idea what Josh Hart was, right?
Exactly.
Oh, he plays hard.
Josh Hart might be the star of that that trifecta, if you will. That's what kind of haul it's going to have to take. And mind you, at the time, those were young players too. B.I., Lonzo, and Lonzo came in that 2017 draft with Fox as well. And so those were young players back then.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see, there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. But what would you do? Would you say, we're good enough this year to win 45-ish games, and then we'll just trade De'Aaron Fox for future, for draft assets? Or do you need to get players back that will make you better now? You got to thread that needle, be better now and in the long term. What do you think? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Sham is on hold here. Sham's here on the Drive Guys. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
Well, we're back to the same question. I don't care who you trade Fox for. If you don't bring in you strengthen the back of the bench, we're not going to win anyway, because the back of the bench is real woeful, and Lynn the other night was really bad. We still need a power forward. And so are we trying to win this year, or if we're trying to win in 3 years with all the draft picks? I'm an original season ticket holder, and I'm done. I've been through 1920 rebuilds, and it's no good. And I don't know what they're trying to do, but you got to get to a couple players on the back of the bench, and you got to either come in with a power forward. Okay, now you've got something you can talk about that's going to win from here, and then try and build around it. But until you do that, whoever they get from Fox, Zach LaVine, or that guy that just was on recently with you, he said there was 4 players he named. Hell, I might even do that deal to get 4 strong players to strengthen my bench, and then that may be the catalyst to win the NBA.
There you go. Thank you, Sham. Don't give up yet.
Don't give
up yet. Wait and see what happens here. So it sounds like Sham would take like Zach Collins and a bench guy for.
Hey, that shores up the bench.
4 of them.
4 bench guys. Yeah, you got to throw in 4 bench guys.
As I listen and I pay attention a little more and more, fellas, the one thing I think about the Spurs, I think you have to have a third team involved somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I get they have some young talent. When I look across and look at their, all the guys lined up one by one, I don't see superstars. I really don't see stars over there. I see C's and D's, maybe a B. I think you have to involve a third team somewhere in the form of it if San Antonio is going to be one of those places.
One of those picks that I would get for Fox to Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam Johnson, my dream comes true. I'm not saying straight up. I'm saying there's other things.
There's some other pieces.
If Cam Johnson's the best player, we got a problem, Whitey. I'm sorry.
Right.
That ain't getting it done. That's not getting it done.
Not necessarily, in my opinion, if you get like a number of guys that are that caliber. We can disagree, but that may be where you are.
I don't know if that gets it done, Jay. You need stars to win championships.
Yeah.
Like that package you get back, good players, solid players that will be in a competition for the 7th, 8th seed, 6th seed. But championships?
It's a good question. We had Jerry on the day after the firing of Mike Brown. He was on the Emron show, and I asked him about, hey, if you traded Fox, we didn't know what was going on. If you traded Fox, could you get enough guys back where you'd actually stay afloat? He said it'd be tough. He said you're not going to get anybody as good as Fox, but you might get a couple guys who fill your needs. And I think that's probably where they are right now. Maybe that's not good enough, but I think realistically, that's about the best you can do, isn't it? Plus the draft assets.
Plus the picks, yeah. Yeah, you might be right. That in terms of the best you can do, does a trade that somehow gets you, and I'm just throwing this out there, Zach LaVine and 4 first rounders or something like that. Like, does that have any interest? I mean, what are we? Yeah, I think here's the thing, Jay.
Sign me up, Drake.
What's more important to us, players now or picks? Or we want it all right now. We're in a position where we want it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what you guys are talking about, if you're asking me, I need you to be, and this is the toughest part, is I need you to thread the needle. The problem I'm having, as a fan is, and I think this is what fans are saying, is the belief that they can thread the needle when you look at the past of what the Kings have done, and you can't gauge what this regime has done 30 years ago, because that's what fans normally do. But the tough part, Drapes, for me is, how am I trusting a regime that has not been active, that has not showed me that they can be proactive and get things done? I think they've been reactive, and in certain ways, I don't want to say has gotten lucky, because you don't get lucky re-signing Malik Monk when he could have got probably another $20 million, what we probably heard. You don't get lucky when you pick up the phone and call DeMar DeRozan and have him come to Sacramento when, you know, he probably could have went 2 or 3 other places of what we heard.
Okay, what about the Sabonis trade then? Now, I know that was a while ago, but that was a big, bold trade.
Yeah, that was
big and bold.
That was. But I also think they, and this is what I said, I don't want to say lucky, but I think their hands were tied in certain situations in the form they had to spend Tyrese Halliburton or had to spend De'Aaron Fox. It was one of the two.
Yeah, they would have traded Fox then if they would have.
Absolutely. And so, you know, they just so happened to find a player that was needed the same situation. You know, they were kind of parallel, equally yoked together.
It's difficult for any city when you say goodbye, as the Kings may have to do now, to one of your stars, but I think it's especially difficult here. The Kings, you know, being the only pro sports team, when it's time to say goodbye to one of your star players,
right,
one of your legitimate players who has, you know, a profile that transcends just the market, it's tough. It's very emotional for fans.
And a guy you drafted, you nurtured.
Yes,
like
sir.
we've seen in this community, De'Aaron Fox go from a boy to a man. Think about it. He's had 2 kids, got married.
He wanted to come here in the first
and he wanted to be here, and he never complained, you know, during the down years and everything. And, you know, the organization, the fan base supported him and everything. And so it's almost sort of like Dame Lillard in Portland. You know, it's like you look at Dame and in Portland's eyes, that's their guy. Like Dame is going by, I think they play Portland tonight, as a matter of fact. Milwaukee does. And anytime he comes back, it's emotional. And I think if De'Aaron Fox ultimately does get traded, it'll be the same way.
Reggie joins us on Sacktown Sports. Hey, Reg, what can we do for you?
Hey, so I've been a Kings fan, man, pretty much all my life since about 3rd grade. I've seen, you know, the ups and downs. I see the teams that we had. And, you know, just kind of comparing, I'm kind of on the fence about it, because it's like, I know, and I kind of have a feeling for De'Aaron, but it's just like, even the old Kings team that we did have, we had solid bench players. We didn't really have a real number one, except for like Chris Webber. You had, you know, Peja when Peja took off. But just the expectation of, you know, you want to get paid, you know, you have to be there and be engaged every time. And I always have this conversation that, you know, De'Aaron is one of the fastest ball handlers in the league. And I think that he should be able to get to, you know, 10 free throw attempts every game. You know, sometimes it's not warranted that you need to take 10 threes every game. You know, use to your ability what you have. You're one of the fastest guys. But at the same time, I do agree with a lot of the fans that, you know, what are we going to do about this? You know, we do need to have, you know, a bigger bench. We need to have, you know, a backup center that can come in and relieve, that plays defense. You know, it's all about a team sport, and everybody has to do their part. But at the same time, you know, you have these guys, like you guys talked about it. How can we get lucky when we get DeMar DeRozan? You know, we got Malik Monk. He could have went somewhere else. But we have these guys that really want to buy in because they want to see something happen with our team. And for me, you know, you got to get your bag. You got to get your money. But at the same time, it kind of, in my eyes, kind of feels selfish, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's some games where it's just like you're out of the picture, where you're scoring 14 points, but you want to get paid this super max. And if you want to be paid this super max, you should be in games in and out, you know, bringing it every time. You know, there's going to be times where you don't have an extra superstar, but that's what solidifies you in this league, because you're coming in. Just like a couple years ago when you came the clutch player, you know, of the year, you were making plays, you were in it, you know, and, you know, just seeing the development of De'Aaron Fox, it's definitely great to see all that he has done for the city, you know, him becoming the player that he is. But at the same time, it's like, if we're going to make this trade, you know, I don't want any turmoil with the team, because we're, like you said, we're in the middle of playoff contention. But if we got to make this trade, let's make it happen to where we're maximizing that player. If we got to get a third team in to make that trade, then we'll go ahead and do that. But at the same time, it's all about the Kings. It's not about one player. It's all about the team. It's all about how we can come to a collective and get that one goal that we have. So
Gotcha,
just like
Reg.
I said, thinking about it and not trying to compare it to the teams that we had in the past, but we had guys that bought in. You had your Scott Pollards. You know what I'm saying? You had your Lawrence Thunderberg. So just I don't know. I just feel
Gotcha,
like I said, if they're gonna make this trade and make it work, let's do it.
Gotcha. Well, Golf to Go is next. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's messed up.
Thank you, Reggie. He touched on one thing about this. The one thing about this that really bothers me, and we'll get into that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Milo's Rewards Week is coming, and it's kind of a big deal. Members, get ready for 7 days of up to 40% off store-wide on hundreds of items. Save on the top brands in bath, tools, paint, and more. Our biggest member deals are on January 30th through February 5th. So if you're not a loyalty member, now's the time to join for free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. Every day, ZipRecruiter helps people who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Not an easy day for a lot of Kings fans. I know for Kyle Draper, it's not easy. I mean, he's a professional. He can do it. But I know it's not easy for him dealing with this. So I just noticed him, kind of drifting off a little bit, escaping for a few moments, watching Eagles highlights on TV. Good for you.
Yeah, I saw the news. Kellen Moore ROC, interviewing for other jobs and everything. It's like, dang, 1 year and we already looking to break it up. But no, these next 2 weeks will be great.
Here is the dumbest Super Bowl story I've ever seen. I saw it today. And it came out, if I have this right, I think your team's wearing green and the Chiefs wearing white. And somebody wrote a story that 37 times the team that wears white wins a Super Bowl. Come on. And the headline says, why the team that wears white wins the Super Bowl more often. Read the story. There's nothing in there about that. It doesn't say anything about
Oh, it doesn't? That was just the headline?
And it's like 37 to 21, something like that. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of close. You know, it's like, a huge advantage for the teams that wear white. I mean,
it's the NFL fix. They're setting drapes up, Whitey.
So Chiefs wearing white this
yeah, I believe they are.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here it is.
You know what? Any kind of way they can subtly say the fix is in. Get ready, Drapes.
Sorry about that.
Nah, man, we're ready to take on the league, the officials, whoever. It don't matter to us. We're ready. This is Philly's year. I feel it.
My neighbor Skip drove up behind me. So I was walking my dog, and he drives up. He goes, "Hey, who's gonna win the Super Bowl?" Stop, Drapes. I had to tell him. I said, I think Philly.
You think Philly?
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like, you say that and he goes, no, you never bet against the Chiefs. You never say they're not going to win. They win all the time. Never say they're not going to win. I don't think they're going to win.
I don't think so either. I think the jig. I mean, there's a reason why nobody's won 3 in a row in the Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to do. And this Eagles team, man, better coordinators this time around, versus last year. More experience, not their first trip there. More talented roster.
What do you think of the coaching matchup? Head coach to head coach.
No, Sirianni's one of the young, bright minds in the game.
Why were you laughing, White?
No, he's laughing. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. How many has your coach been in the last 3 years?
Well, I'm talking about Andy Reid. So he's been in a few.
Nick Sirianni is one of the top 10 coaches in the league, fellas. I'm talking based on results.
Yeah.
The record is what it is, Whitey. You got to give him some credit.
I know. He doesn't get enough credit.
Right.
I just asked you what you thought of the matchup.
I think it's a very good matchup. Andy Reid's obviously got the advantage, but, somebody got to knock him off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not Sirianni?
Andy Reid couldn't get it done with your team, huh? Just couldn't get it
done.
Give me a D list right now. You said Sirianni's a top 10 coach in the league?
Yes, I'm based on results. I'm all about wins and losses, Jay. I don't know about you. I don't know what numbers you looking at. I'm looking at, in my opinion,
about championships.
You're about championships.
Yes,
we got 2 NFC championships, baby.
You count those?
And in the last 3 years, I'm counting those.
All right.
I put Nick Sirianni up there. I don't think he gets enough respect.
The league, this is the one thing I can give you with the NFL. Coaches are normally recycled every year. So you could sometime be top 10, sometime be bottom 20. It depends because there's so much movement. Top 10 right now, D-list. I need 10.
I give you 10 right now.
Come on.
Give me the music. Give me the music, Jay. Let's see if you got the music on cue. Top 10 NFL head coaches. And I'm going down the list right here. And this is no particular order, Whitey. No particular order.
Okay, just the top 10, yeah.
John Harbaugh.
All right.
I'm going to throw him in there. Yes,
Absolutely.
There's the music.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott. I'm gonna throw him in there.
Some Bills fans like, he's got to go.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott's there. Yeah. I'm just going down the list right here.
This is the
Dan
D-list.
Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I got to throw, even though he made some mistakes.
Blamed himself for that
blamed
loss.
himself. I'm going to go Dan Campbell. I'm going to throw in, how about this? Matt LaFleur.
Oh.
I'm going to throw him in there.
A lot of success there in Green Bay.
DeMeco Ryans.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw DeMeco.
Young.
Andy Reid.
I'm 6.
Jim Harbaugh.
Turned that Charger team around. That's
Sean
7.
McVay.
Sean McVay. That's 8.
Did you say Tomlinson?
I'm going to hold up, Jay.
Oh, okay.
He's only got 2 slots
I'll
left.
just check.
I'm going to give Tomlinson the edge in there. And then my boy Sirianni. That's my top 10.
Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlinson.
Yeah.
And Sirianni barely makes it.
No, I didn't say no particular order. I was just going down the list.
All I know is he barely made it.
Over Pete Carrol?
I got to see what Pete looks like in Vegas. I got to see.
Just check.
And honestly, I should probably put Get Matt LaFleur out of there and
Kyle
put my
Shanahan?
guy. No, I ain't put. Come on. Dude was 6-11 this last year. They're winning in spite of him when they do make it. They're winning in spite of him.
Who are you putting in? You said you're taking out LaFleur, and then
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll.
Oh,
I'll throw
okay.
Pete Carroll.
Mike
What
Vrabel?
about Zach Taylor?
Nah, not Mike Vrabel.
Zach Taylor.
What's Zach Taylor do? One AFC, one Super Bowl appearance? What? Zach Taylor ain't done anything recently. This squad underachieved this year. I'm looking at Sirianni 2 of the last 3 years getting to the Super Bowl.
Top 10.
Last year, 10-1 to start the season. It fell apart, no doubt about it. But heck, Niners would have loved to have Eagles season last year. 10-1 start.
Is Andy Reid number 1?
Yeah, I think so.
There it is, the D list.
There it is. Give
me that 10 one more time.
Sponsored by who? Nobody. Damn, we got to get a sponsor for that one. All right, what we got? Who's
Give me
on
that
the
10
list?
one more time.
You got Jim Harbaugh,
Yep.
Sean McVay, Coach Tomlin, Nick Sirianni, John Harbaugh, Dan Campbell, Sean McDermott, let's see, D'Amico Ryans, Andy Reid, and you said Pete.
Pete
right?
Carroll.
Pete
Yeah.
Carroll.
Rounding out the top 10. That's a pretty good list, Jay. That's a pretty good list right there.
I'm thinking of a few.
He's
Dan
going through-
Quinn?
Nah.
Okay.
Dan Quinn, he's a nice coach, but my squad just throttled him. My boy just outcoached him.
How did you get talked into sliding Pete Carroll in there?
Oh, Pete Carroll got a Super Bowl. He's he works his magic.
Yeah,
I'm
it was a
a
while
big
ago, but
Pete
okay.
Carroll fan.
All right.
I'm a Pete Carroll fan.
All right.
Todd Bowles?
Nah, not yet.
Do you guys think that Pete Carroll is going to be able to turn things around in a hurry? Because he's
No.
saying, which
Oh,
they
go
all
ahead.
say, it's like, oh, we're not on a 5-year plan. I'm 73. We're going to turn this around right away. We're going to build it around a quarterback, and we're going to turn around starting right away.
You know what you know who he forgot?
Yeah.
John Harbaugh.
No,
I had both Harbaughs. I had both.
Oh,
Yeah, I had both in
missed
there.
that
Come
one.
on now.
John was
Jim.
a late. John was
Oh,
like
it was a late
7 or
edition?
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just going down
Yeah.
my list that I had here of teams.
Yeah.
So no, both.
Yeah.
No,
Sean Payton?
I didn't give
Yeah,
Sean
make
Payton
it.
his love. No, not right now. Not right. Nice little run out there in Denver.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Does have a Super Bowl. You're all about
But
championships.
my guy Nick Sirianni is the hot thing, man, right now.
Mike McDaniel?
Nah. What have they accomplished, Jay? Come on. now.
Hey, listen.
Don't come on,
So you're
man.
all about championships, but you have a guy with no championships on the list ahead of a guy who's won a
He's
championship.
counting the NFC
No,
championship.
because I'm looking at what Sean Payton did before he got my boy Bo Nix. They struggled his first couple years there in Denver. So I'm not, Sirianni's been to 2 Super Bowls, fellas. Come on, man. Give the dude some love.
So where's Shanahan in there?
Nah, but Shanahan is 6-11, bro. I can't. Come on, man. I told you the squad advanced to the Super Bowl in spite of him. Got the best roster money can buy. Shanahan makes too many mistakes for me, man.
Mhm. How long does it take for Pete Carroll to turn it around? If ever.
Well, it depends on the quarterback, right?
I know.
Like,
that's the thing.
I
We're
need to
gonna
know
build around
that
a quarterback.
answer.
Who is it?
I need to exactly. That's the answer we need to know, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna build. Is it Russell Wilson?
Yeah, it could be, huh?
Man, that's a tough division.
Pretty good quarterbacks in that division.
Yeah. I give them 3 years though. 3 years,
In 3 years, they'll win 10 games.
10 games. Yeah.
They'll be like a wild card team in 3
Yep.
years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay? You down with that? You
Yeah, I was
good
going
with
to say 2.
that? Okay.
I think they turns around to the point where they're 5, it can't be 500, but you're 9-8, 8-9. But I'm with Drapes. I got to see a quarterback
Right.
first.
Right.
Yep.
It's like, what? We have no idea.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
back to
they
us
could
when you
get
have your
through draft,
quarterback. Yeah. All right. The one thing about all this De'Aaron Fox thing that I think it's wrong, and it's next on Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Team night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. Don't miss out on this special deal. Regularly priced at $49.95, but for a limited time, only $39.95. Save $10 per silver bar. Limit of 25 bars per customer. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $250 in savings and free shipping on every order. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value free. Call 1-800-937-4707 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Bars for only $39.95. That's 1-800-937-4707.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-887-1010. 800-887-1010.
This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebate. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
If you're a Kings fan, you're confused by today's news that the Kings open to trading De'Aaron Fox. You don't know where to turn. Well, turn to us, of course, Sacktown Sports, and you could do a lot worse than turning to our buddy Sam Amick. Remember last time we talked to Sam? We talked to Anthony Slater, I should say. Remember, I asked him, when are you and Sam going to have something about the Kings? And remember, he kind of smiled and went, could be any day.
Yeah, they were working on something, it seemed like. Yeah, I remember that a couple weeks ago or last year. Yeah.
What are you talking about? So, a couple hours ago, Sam Amick in The Athletic, he says the Kings now listening to trade offers for De'Aaron Fox, considering moving him before the deadline. Yes, and it looks like Fox's agent, Rich Paul at Clutch Sports, recently informed the Kings that it would be wise to move him sooner rather than later, even if it's not to the team of his choosing. And that's what I don't like about this whole thing.
Right.
The whole thing is it's unfortunate, it's uncomfortable. If you're a Kings fan, oh, it's too bad. But if you have the agent for a player telling the team, you better trade him now, That's not right, Drapes.
It's not right. And by saying to even a team of not his choosing, sounds like he wants out of here no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter where you send him,
right.
You got to get him out of here.
Right. And this is just the reality. According to the league source, who's expected to field all calls from interested teams? Not Monty, but Rich Paul.
Wow.
Rich Paul is expected to field all calls from interested teams and remain open about where Fox might land. Not the GM, his agent. And I know that's the way it goes. It's like, hello, yes, but it's still kind of stunning when you think about it. So this could complicate the process for the Kings, right? Let's say a team like the Nets is interested. There are reports that they've been monitoring this.
Yes.
They got to call, not Monty. First, they got to call Rich Paul.
Hey, would your client be interested in coming here?
Yeah.
Would he resign here? Everything like that. And so you're right. It's Rich Paul is running this.
Yes.
Clutch Sports, they're running this. And, we've seen it before in Port New Orleans a few years ago. And although they did make out okay with the trade, but the Anthony Davis trade, it sort of gutted that team. And, it took them a while to rebuild back up. And I hope that doesn't happen here in Sacramento. It's almost like now Monty and Wes and those guys, are their hands tied, or do they still have some leverage at all, do you think?
They have some leverage, and they've got to maximize what little they have. But it's just wrong, because here's a situation where the team is trying to do something this year, and the player's agent is saying, yeah, that's fine, but we don't care about that, right? You better move him now. Well, wait, we're trying to win. Yeah, you're better off moving him now. And by the way, and again, this is just what's written here. I'm obviously not privy to the actual conversations, but clearly there's an implied threat there.
Right.
That's not right.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine Fox playing that card, though, Whitey.
I can't either.
He's not Jimmy Butler. He's not going to sit out and force his way out like that, right? I just can't see it.
You willing to test it, Drake?
No. And not if you're the Kings, right?
Yeah.
You got to take a man at his word, right?
I would.
If you're the Kings.
And I'm not even sure if he's the man. I think it's somebody behind him.
I'll tell you what, I'm with you. But if I'm not getting anything, because the Spurs and everybody else knows that he's gone anyway, and they don't want to give me anything close to his value, then yeah, I'm going back to Rich Paul and saying, no, we ain't moving him now. We can't.
Yeah.
So, unleash the hounds. But here we go.
Right. I wonder too, will there be a bigger market in the offseason than right now? Here's the thing about that though. And I need to look at some of the NBA rules, but if I'm the Kings, and might be why it's important to make a move sooner rather than later, you want to know where these draft picks are,
sure,
in this year's draft.
Sure.
Like you want 3 picks here in this 2025 draft, or 2 picks, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're the Sacramento Kings, what if now those picks are in the 20s or something like it's I want to know, I want picks in this year's draft if I'm Sacramento. Right. I don't want 2028 and 2030. Like, give me 2 picks this year if you're San Antonio or whatever. I want this year's picks. And you had that up earlier, like the treasure trove of picks that San Antonio had as well.
Out here somewhere, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do they have this upcoming season?
This is according to Real GM, and you got to scroll.
Yeah, got to scroll.
Oklahoma City. Well, Oklahoma City. There's a lot.
Right. Yeah. That's like 3 pages worth there.
Yeah.
With OKC.
Portland, Sacramento, San Antonio Spurs. 2025 first round pick from Atlanta. 2025 first round pick from Charlotte.
That's the one I want.
No, that's protected, right?
Protected for selections 1 through 14.
Okay.
2025 first round pick from Chicago.
Okay. All right.
Protected for selections 1 through 10.
Okay.
Then you got a second rounder from Chicago in 2025. Then 2026 first rounder, 2026 second rounder.
Okay.
As far as the first rounders, 3 2025 first rounders, but only one of them is unprotected.
Do they have their own or no?
They have, they do not, according to this, and I could track it down where that went, but according to this, they do not have their own 2025 first rounder.
So 3 first round picks for the Spurs in this upcoming draft. one top 10 and one top 14 protected, right?
Yeah.
What's the Hawks one again?
Hawks one is
unprotected.
Unprotected, and they're halfway decent.
Yeah, but they still might miss out on. That could be a lot.
They might have. I'm not sure this includes your own picks. I have to double check on that. Say they may have their own.
Okay.
Which would be 4, but I have to double check on that. It doesn't say so, but I'm not sure those are listed here.
So right now the Hawks are 9th in the Eastern Conference. So it looks like they'd be, if it all played out on the out, that's a lottery pick. Chicago is 10th. And that's 1 through 10 protected.
Correct.
So theoretically, you could be talking 2 lottery picks right there. 2 in the top 14.
In a draft
right
that I know that now, scouts are starting to say, well, maybe it's not as great as we thought.
Are they backing off on it a little
bit? But that, that happens
right,
a lot.
Right. I think, this year's draft and next year's draft are supposedly, deep, really good, top tier talent, that kind of thing. And so if I'm the Kings, the picks I'm looking at, I definitely need some this year and next year if you decide to make a move on De'Aaron Fox.
According to Tankathon, right now, based on record, of course, you have to have the lottery. The 10th pick would go to San Antonio. So I believe they do have their own.
Okay,
so 4.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they're 20 and 23 right now. So,
wow. That's, you got to have four picks, right? Three picks max and 2 very good rotation players, right?
Oh yeah, if Cam, and I love Cam. If he's a 2. Here's my point.
Right,
if he's a 2 or close to a 2, De'Aaron Fox is like, I'm not even picking up the phone unless you're offering 3.
Right.
You're not even talking.
Yeah, if Cam is 2 by
yes.
No, I see what you're saying. But let me ask you this: Sohan and Vassell and 3 first rounders. That interests you at all?
A little bit, it does. I don't know about Sohan. Do you? I'm not sure about him.
I actually like him.
Do you? Okay.
They messed him up by trying to play him at point guard last season, but as a 3-man, possibly plays 4, like he has a high motor, can run the floor. Sohan would be a solid pickup. He has a little bit of that dog in him, I think. Yeah.
The Kings that pick's probably going to convey this year to Atlanta, right?
What is it again? Top 10? Top 8?
I think it's 14 this year. Because right now they'd be 13th and it would go to Atlanta. So the pick that the Kings owe Atlanta, I think it's this year.
This year I think it's top 8, right? And then if it doesn't convey, then it's 2 second-round picks. Yeah. So that's going to convey this year.
Okay.
So, but you think about it. If that conveys, you don't have any picks in this deep, great NBA draft. If you're Monty, if you do make a deal, you got to get a couple of picks in this draft, I would think.
Guys, this is from the 916. Spurs, Keldon Johnson, Sohan, Castle, 2025 via Chicago, 2025 via Atlanta. Houston, Amen Thompson.
Not going to happen.
Click.
Yeah.
Tone.
And then Amen Thompson, he might end up being a truly great player.
Yes.
You see him last night?
Yes, I saw him last night.
He's a great defender, and he had the game winner last night for Houston and Boston. He might not just be he's pretty good. He might be a great player.
I agree. He's probably, they're untouchable right now. So any trade proposal you see involving Amen, that ain't happening. No way they giving up on him right now. But what about, he said Johnson, Sohan, and Castle. That's 3 players and 2 first-round picks.
We're getting closer.
Nah,
getting closer.
That's a lot, bro.
It is.
I don't know if San Antonio even does that. Damn, that's a lot.
I don't know if I'm
3 starters in my opinion, and 2 drafts.
My hand's being forced by an agent saying you might want to trade him sooner rather than later. My price is very high, and I know, like we were saying earlier, you got to take emotion out of it. At the same time, you can't be pushed around. So you can't be pushed around.
Right.
So I was like, all right, my price. Jay, you're with me, aren't you? My price for De'Aaron Fox right now, if it's the Spurs, because that's where he wants to go, my price is very high.
Oh, yeah. It's through
very
the roof.
high.
Yeah. It's almost snobbish. It's almost Paris Hilton like.
Man, listen to you.
Who? Make click. Who else on the line?
But how much leverage do you have, fellas? If Rich Paul is playing hardball, if he's saying or else sooner rather than later,
then let's go.
You calling his bluff?
Then let's go. I mean, so it's like this, Drace, for me. Until De'Aaron Fox publicly comes out and says it, then the way I look at it, and as you said, we know they've had conversations. Not meaning you didn't say have a conversation, but as you said, if De'Aaron is Monty and Wes and Vivek have talked to De'Aaron, and De'Aaron doesn't seem to be the guy to stroke that type of fire, like you said,
right?
Then let's go.
Okay.
Rich Paul, you have an opportunity. You want to flex your muscles. You want to showcase that you bigger and better than not only an NBA team, but also the whole league, basically, is what you're saying. Then let's go.
Mm-hmm. Justin says trade Fox to Washington.
For who?
Just
want to send him to Siberia.
Just send him there.
That's messed up.
We'll take your guy Kuzma.
No, you got to throw in Jordan Poole too. Make the money work, right? Washington was like,
and Rashawn Holmes.
Throw
Don't
him
forget
in
him.
for free.
Yeah.
Throw him in for free.
I could do that. Yeah. Where do the Kings go from here? Conversation continues when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Team night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-887-1010. 800-887-1010.
Happy New Grill. Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat as we did on Christmas Eve. Bring out all the flavors of the new year with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you Happy New Year. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, yeah. How will we look back on this day, the day we found out that according to Shams, according to Chris Haynes, the Kings are open to trading De'Aaron Fox. I just hope they get it done soon. I'm not hung up on any sentimentality with De'Aaron Fox. Nothing against him, but he doesn't want to be here. Kings are trying to get some things accomplished this year, next year, and beyond. All right, let's work this in our favor. Let's get it done one way or the other. Let's get it done and not let it linger and hang over our heads. It's lingered enough this year.
Yeah.
I think it's already done enough damage to the season this year.
So you need it quickly, despite what the offers may be.
Well,
it's
I'm
all
not gonna give them away,
Whitey.
but I'm going to try and get it done
Are you
quickly as I can.
Are you picking up the phone calling teams? Are you being
I can't.
the
You got to call his
aggressor?
agent.
I know, right?
Probably call his agent for. Is it okay if I call? Can I call the Nets?
Right.
Is it okay?
Oh man, somebody on the text line, bring in Jimmy. I think we're all in universal agreement. Jimmy Butler, thumbs down on that.
Thumbs down. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
sure you
All
were
right,
going to say
good.
we're all in agreement. That would
No,
be
no,
great.
no. We're all out on that one. We're all out on that one.
Not a good fit, and then you get him. You're just creating another headache because he'll want his extension, and you're not going to give him the
Right, you're
extension.
not giving him that.
Right.
Yeah. Let me. What about the Rockets though? We've been talking so much about the Spurs and the package that they could offer. What about Houston? Wait. What's a good package from Houston.
Well, I go back to a package somebody had last week, and I shot them down. It was who was it? It was Jalen Green and Jabari Smith and something. Here's an interesting point from Quantum Leaper 21. Building packages that are consensual for each party is definitely hyper difficult.
Yeah, 100%. And somebody said on the text line too about you, Whitey. Hey, does Whitey still not like a Jalen Green trade? Also, fly Super Bowl, Eagles fly from my guy Leezy.
Of course, you gotta get that in.
No, I'm just reading the text.
Maybe
Jay.
it was
Just reading the
Leezy.
text.
Maybe Leezy was the one who had that last.
Still out on Jalen Green?
It just depends on what else. Did you see Jalen? They had a great game last night. Jalen Green did not have a great game. So I'm just not sure. He's not efficient enough for me, but I would love to talk to Houston about something. Did you see what your guy Dylan Brooks did last night, by the way?
Told you, my guy. Yeah.
Went
into Boston.
10 of 15 on threes.
Went into Boston. What, he had 36, I think it was, something like that.
And Amin Thompson had 33 in the game winner. By the way, Şengün had an okay game.
He was okay. What was he? I don't know.
This talk of, oh boy, they're neck and neck, Şengün and Sabonis. No, Sabonis deserves to be an all-star. Şengün
over Şengün?
Yes.
No, Şengün deserves to be an all-star.
No.
They're
Over Sabonis?
They're the third best team in the league.
I don't care. Look at how they've played.
Look at
what would the Kings be without Sabonis?
What would that? Şengün, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. And I'm not saying he's better than Domas.
He's not.
But I don't have to put down Şengün to hype up Domas. In my opinion, they both deserve to be all-stars.
A lot of people see it as one or the other because they play the same position. If it's one or the other, it's Domas.
But it's positionless, though. It's positionless out there. It's positionless in terms of but
you got to play a game.
No,
you have to play games.
Coaches don't vote on all-star because we got to have a center to play a game. You have 2 wild card picks in the West and the East.
Which player deserves to be an all-star more, Sabonis or Şengün? All I'm saying is, of those 2 players, Sabonis deserves it.
All right, you were saying I thought you said Şengün does not. You said Sabonis does.
Of those 2, I'm saying of those 2.
I think they both deserve them.
Who you taking out?
I'm giving Houston a ton of credit for being the third best team in the NBA, fellas. They have to have an all-star. And it probably is Şengün, unless it's Jalen Green. Now, if it's Jalen Green, then, easily, okay, they only get one. But they're the third best team in the league. Like, I'm not disrespecting them just because it's our hometown guy. I'm not sucking up to the fan base and the local media and the people here. Şengün deserves to be an all-star. So does Domantas Sabonis. If either one of those guys are off, they got robbed, in my opinion.
Which of them deserves it more, in your opinion? I'm saying Sabonis deserves it more than Şengün. We can disagree, but that's what I'm saying.
Man, I think they equally deserve it. How about that? I don't.
Then who you live off?
I just said they equal. I'm not leaving off anybody.
Not one of those 2, because unfortunately it's going to come down to probably one of those 2 with Anthony Davis. You can't have 12 guards.
All right, I can fill out my all-star ballot right now.
No.
I can tell you.
I'm just saying, who do you think do you think is going to make it that you would say no?
I think somebody from the Clippers probably will not make it. I don't think the Clippers
not one person.
I don't think the Clippers should get a person.
Not my guy Norman Powell?
Nah. Oh, if anybody, it might be James Harden, but I don't think the Clippers should get it. Minnesota.
That's an interesting way to look at it. And I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah. I understand where you're going. I don't look at all-stars that way, but I see what you're saying. If you're looking at which teams deserve all-stars.
That's how it's like there's a reason why the Lakers in the mid-90s got 4 all-stars. There's a reason why the Hawks in the early 2010s got 4 all-stars. It's because their team was so great. I think the Rockets, they got to get somebody. Third best team in the league. They have to get one. And a lot of people think Şengün's the best player on that team. And so that's my
or I'd argue, is Şengün the easiest to fill the position? Meaning, looking at the guards and the threes, the wings, it's going to be harder to get Jalen Green on over some of these other guys where it's like, Şengün could probably jump in over one of the other big guys.
But I don't think positions have anything to do with all-star votes because they have 2 wild card selections.
Right.
So you could do your guards, your centers, And then you have 2 wild card selections. And so those can both be centers, if you know what I mean. And so that's how I would vote it.
Maybe we should go back and look and see who's been the wild card picks.
Yeah, I don't even know if they've had them in the.
It's been the last couple
Last
years,
couple
right?
years,
Mhm.
yeah.
Do you remember when the Hawks? This is neither here nor there. Remember when the Hawks had 5 guys and they were the player of the week?
Oh, really? They had all 5 were players?
Yeah, it was Cephalosha and Horford and Millsap and Schroeder and Korver, I think. Drove me crazy. It's like, that's wrong. You can't have 5 guys as player of the week. I get it. They're a great team. That's not what player of the week is. Anyway, that was Mike Budenholzer's team.
Oh, they have 5 players because I remember it. And then they got 4
players of the
All-Stars.
week.
Yeah,
all
that's
5
pretty.
of them.
That's funny. That's funny. So I'm looking here at in terms of all-stars. You know, I think the fact that Steph is an all-star, to me, I'm not.
But let me argue it before you finish. He's a hometown guy. He's got to get in there because the Warriors need one person, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, what it really is the criteria. He's the greatest shooter ever,
but he's not having the best season.
But why should having a half season that's good be more important
Well,
than having a great career?
you're putting Sabonis over Şengün because of his statistical numbers, because he's having a great season. Steph is not having a great season. He's not. It's just a fact. They're not even a top 10 team. It's just a fact. And is the only reason he there is if it was in Iowa or if it was in Ohio, does Steph still deserve to be an all-star?
To me, he does. To me, it's like Willie Mays was always an all-star. It's like, of course he is. He's Willie Mays.
So Steph is taking somebody's spot who may be more deserving.
Well, again, what determines whether you deserve to be an all-star or not?
To me, it's stats and team success. Those are my 2 criteria. You know, and I understand the voting is sort of a popularity contest, you know, because you got fans and things like that. But there are a number of guys having much better seasons than Steph that probably did. De'Aaron Fox is having a better season than Steph Curry.
I think I'm already ashamed of myself for watching this year's All-Star thing. I'm probably going to watch it, and I'm ashamed of myself. And All-Star games don't matter anymore, which is not what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you about that. We disagree about the other things. But All-Star games don't matter anymore because there was a time when players were on their teams and they stayed on their teams for a long time. Once you had free agency, we see All-Star games all the time, only they count. You know, like Boston. When Boston plays, it's like an All-Star team. You know, and the games matter.
Yeah.
So, we're going to get all the best players to play together. It's not going to matter, though. I can watch what essentially is an all-star game that really matters all the time now because of free agency.
Because of free agency, guys moving. And I'm with you on that. I 100% agree on that. I don't know. I got to go through. That's a D list for Thursday, Jay.
Okay.
Before the announcement, if you will, because the reserves will be announced Thursday at 4, I think it is our time. Or 3:30, so that could be a D list for Thursday.
Run_Ultra says, I'm looking for the best place to golf on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, me and him both.
Yeah,
me and him both.
Come on, but better sit and watch the game. As a matter of fact, got invited down to we're sponsoring some Super Bowl party at Mix downtown.
Are we?
Yeah. Got invited to that, but
nice.
I said nope. I'm gonna be at home.
Why'd they invite you and not us?
You answered your own question right there.
Well, my bad.
Yeah. So I'll be at the crib watching. I'm gonna be locked in. I don't want any distraction.
Yeah, you don't want a lot of people.
Nah, right. I don't want to be talking to
right.
Because usually I'm missing out on the commercials too. You could talk to me during the halftime show. Other than that, I'm locked in.
If they're losing, would it be hard for you? Like if they're behind, will it?
Like if it's a blowout, yeah. I mean, but if they're down 10 going into halftime, I'm still confident. I still feel good.
All right, we'll come back with a look at where the Kings go from here. Now that it looks like De'Aaron Fox, does he want out or not? And how much has this affected the Kings this season to this point? This whole thing next on Sacktown Sports.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Let me ask you this, Drapes. What do you think of not picking on your guy, but it's significant, a DNP last night for Kevin Herter? How about that?
I mean, he hasn't been hitting shots. You know, he's been struggling. Not surprised at all. Doug stuck with him for a while, and last night gave the minutes to Keon mostly.
Yeah.
And so, no, not surprised at all.
I believe Brendan Nunes suggested that it might be his first DNP CD since he's been here. I don't know that that's true. Sure. I'm not even sure he suggested.
I think
first
so.
of the year.
Yeah.
But that's significant. So one of my first thoughts was, I know Cam Johnson didn't play last night. Kevin Herter didn't play. Ooh,
we think something's up
today.
Exactly, right? Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast.
And then
It's
John
going-
Collins,
yeah.
I think, is out with I think he's sick tonight or something. But
man.
yeah.
I don't know how Kevin Huerter gets back in. Like Doug, he has to give him another shot, right? At some point, you got to make shots if you're Kevin Huerter, and so it sucks, man, because if he's clicking, this team is clicking, and so
The only way this gets worse, obviously, if the Kings make a bad trade, that gets terrible. But there's no way, is there, that De'Aaron Fox sits out games because he doesn't want to get hurt before he gets traded. That was an issue with AD, I remember, but I don't think they were competitive in that season, which was 2019.
Right.
But there's no way if De'Aaron Fox sits out games,
seems like he's doing the opposite, though, right?
It does, to his credit.
Yeah, I can't see any way in which he sits out games. I have seen in the past teams sit players down.
Sure.
Because they don't want the assets to get. But I mean, De'Aaron Fox, you got the box score. How many he played last night?
He played 36-49, and I believe he's
There you go.
averaging a career high in minutes this year.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think when he's playing, he's all in, despite everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Do you think this has impacted the season at all? The drama? I can't, it's hard to quantify. I think it has.
Yeah.
Just having one of, if not your best player, clearly not necessarily being 100% on board with everything. That's not good.
It got it. Yeah. And, I know players are professionals, but they're humans also. Like if you're going to work and this guy's not all in and everything, it got to have some sort of effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you look at, the wins and losses. How about the team struggles? Was that part of it as well? I go back to that Detroit game, De'Aaron not closing out and then committing the foul. And I'm talking psychologically, does that all play a factor in it? And so I do think it's had an effect on the season.
Yeah. I honestly think if he gets moved here, I'm not going to have a problem with De'Aaron Fox. It's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point. And if his people literally are telling the Kings, threatening, well, you better move him sooner rather than later, that's wrong. But I don't have any bitterness towards him.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we are we blaming Fox for that? Do we take that out on Fox the way his
I don't, but
may or may not be handling it?
A lot of fans already have been kind of down on Fox. He's become this year a polarizing player. It's one of the things I was thinking we could talk about today before we knew what was going to happen. I'm not entirely clear on how it happened, but I think it's mainly driven by this desire that he's expressed to maybe go elsewhere. And I think, Kings fans don't like that.
Yeah, Kings fans, would take that. It's like rejection.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're not good enough.
Yes.
You don't want to be here? Good. We don't want you here anyway.
Yeah. We didn't want you first.
Right. Exactly. But for the most part, he's played, been a good soldier the last 7+ years. And so I would hate for it to end in a bad way. You know what I mean? And so, let's say Rich Paul and the Clutch, they're trying to strong arm their way. Do it on the up and up. Don't trade them or else kind of threats or anything like that. I don't think that's the way you got to handle business here in Sacramento.
I would think that you have to be somewhat reasonable if you're Rich Paul. And I know that, they could say, no, we don't. This is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get it. But if you're thinking you want the team to trade your guy, you have to cooperate with them to a degree, right? So you have to be aware that it might not be just one team. So he may have his desired location, which we think is San Antonio, maybe Houston, maybe one of the Florida teams further down the list. But you have to know that it might not work with San Antonio, and you have to be open to some other teams if you reasonably expect the team's going to make a deal that's going to help them as well, right? You have to.
No, do you, Whitey?
You have to at least this reasonable.
You say that. Are you saying De'Aaron or just a person in general?
I'm taking De'Aaron out of it. I'm saying his representation. It's like, we want you to trade him. All right. If they're telling me that, it's like, okay, but you understand, I may not be able to send him exactly where you want him to go.
But I'm looking at James Harden, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Anthony Davis. I'm looking at what's playing out with Jimmy Butler now. Like, these guys are only about themselves. Like, they
sure.
Here, I want to go here, and if I don't go here, whoever trades for me, shoot, Pascal Siakam. could have came here to Sacramento. Told the Kings, nope, I don't want to be there. I'm not going to resign. And so that's the power that the players have.
I understand that. Here's the difference between this situation and AD. We're talking about the fact that Woj had that Woj bomb that AD wanted to be traded. It was on this date in 2019.
Yeah.
He was traded in June. So Pelicans had time to work on it. So if Rich Paul and Clutch Sports are saying, we want him traded before the deadline, then it's like, okay, give me something to work with.
Right.
You know, that's an awful lot. So we want him sent to that team in 9 days.
That's tough. I hear what you're saying. It's like, damn, you ain't giving us no time to, canvas offers. If you will. Yeah.
Call they bluff.
But then what, Jay?
Then you wait till the offseason.
And this season's down the drain, pretty much?
Well, I think for me, I think De'Aaron's still playing for something, right? He's still playing for the max deal. And the other part too, fellas, is I think he's also showcasing who he is for the next team as well. Now, if he does go into Anthony Davis mode where he does sit down, then if the Kings stay in this mode of fighting for a play-in or a playoff position, doesn't De'Aaron kind of look like the bad person? Unlike what you said with AD. AD, their team was done. They were barely winning 10 games. Like this team, you got your friend, you're one of your best buddies.
Yeah.
You created this, you started this, you got Domas. Like, I think there's a little bit of a difference in that.
Yeah, and I think you just touched on, Jay, what is making me uncomfortable about this whole thing going back to earlier in the year when the team wasn't playing well. We knew that De'Aaron Fox, he had told everyone, we'll see if I want to stay here. So if you have that situation on a team and you have a guy that, okay, he wants to qualify for the max deal, he's looking beyond the welfare of the team perhaps, and you got a situation where he comes down on a 3-on-1 and he launches one and he misses. If you're a basketball player, you can't help it in the back of your mind think, did he not pass it to me because he's looking for numbers, whether it's true or not, right? And that is counterproductive. And that's why it's time to move.
Time to cut it out. Like if a guy doesn't want to. I'm not
saying he's selfish, but you can't help. If you're playing with him, it's going to enter your thought process, right? And that is not good for team chemistry.
No, I hear you. You're right. You're right on that. And it depends on who the player is, though. Is he going to be a malcontent? I do figure most players understand the business side of things, right?
Yeah,
and they understand. We've seen it in the football as well. It's like what's business is business, and those guys have been with De'Aaron for a few years now. They know who he is. Like this probably isn't a shocker to them at all. And so I will say this, they'll probably take their cues from De'Aaron. Let's say he doesn't get traded. Let's say this season goes on as is. They'll be able to tell, is he all in or not?
Sure.
They'll be able to tell, is he loafing? Is he dogging it? Is he not going hard in practice? Then the question marks start to come in. But I think these guys are professionals.
Yeah, I still think you're better off if you can make that deal. Just sending him on his way.
Sending him on his merry way.
Things. Yeah.
You think De'Aaron had these conversations with like a Malik Monk before the season?
Before the season.
Before the season. Not right now, but I'm saying before the season. Like, hey, Double M, I'm glad you got your bag. We're going to try to go do this, but, I'm 80% in.
I would guess he did. Who knows? Yeah, don't you think? I mean, because they're not just teammates. They're good friends, right?
Yeah, I would think so, right?
But he probably said, but I'll be here this year. You said, right? Right. Yeah, come back because I'll be here this year.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's a good question because if you're De'Aaron, do you even want to let that out? Like I don't know if I'm looking to jump and ship, I might keep that to myself.
So when do you think? Okay, let me rephrase it
before the season.
Yeah, let me rephrase it then. After the Mike Brown situation, do you think De'Aaron has went to his teammates and said, "Yeah, I'm out, fellas"?
No. Nah, I think it was before then.
You think it was before?
I think it was
Mike
with those comments he made about the future and playing for a contender, and and if I'm a teammate, I'm like, dude, what's that all about?
I mean, at media day?
No,
when he talked to you. Oh,
I'm talking when Sam's article in like in December.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, remember and all that.
Yeah, Ramon and all them. Yeah, that article, and that was before Mike even got fired and everything. Remember, that was our big controversy, our big, thing is like, oh man, what's going to happen with De'Aaron Fox?
I remember you come in before the show. I hope we're talking about De'Aaron Fox today.
Is that what it was?
No,
I was about to say, I don't want to touch that kind of stuff. I don't want to touch that kind of stuff.
Also, it got kind of like, oh, we're talking about that again. So
yeah. And now here we are again.
Yes.
But now there's something. We got something now. Yeah.
So why would De'Aaron Fox and or his agency want them to pull the trigger now? Why is it so important to them to get something done sooner rather than later? We'll see if we can't answer that with your help next on Sacktown Sports.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Save on your New Year's car care resolutions with antifreeze, wiper blades, brakes, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A new year means new roads to explore. Grab the keys to a new Toyota and make adventure your resolution. Shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs like the RAV4 Hybrid, Grand Highlander Hybrid, redesigned Land Cruiser, or all-new 38 MPG Toyota Crown Signia. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Kick off your best year yet in a new Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Fabrice.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Fabrice Fabric Spray? Ooh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Fabrice. La 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 la.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Can anybody help me understand this, Drapes? Do you know the answer to this? Jay, we do know that, again, according to Sam Amick, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports informed the Kings that it would be wise to move De'Aaron Fox sooner rather than later, even if it's not to the team of his choosing. Taking that at face value. No, I have no reason to doubt Sam. Very well connected. But if that's true, why would that be? Why would Rich Paul say, well, we'd rather you trade De'Aaron now rather than wait till the season's over? Why would that be? Any idea?
I don't know the answer. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I do know this. Maybe you've seen this. Bobby Marks posted some numbers today, and I don't even know if this explains it, but Fox under contract for 2 seasons, $34.8 million and $37.1 million. He is eligible this summer to sign an extension, 4 for $229. Of course, it'd be higher if he makes all league. He can sign the same extension at 4 for $229 6 months after he was traded. There's a $77 million difference if Fox played out the 2025-26 season and signed with a team that has cap space. That is, if he stayed around, played next year, was a free agent, he could sign bird rights 5 for $296 or non-bird 4 for $219. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but I just find it curious that, you know, as much upheaval as this causes for, I'm sure, De'Aaron personally, potentially, for the team here, why would it be so important to them to move him now? I'm not suggesting anything. I honestly don't know, Drapes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question, man. And I'm thinking, you know, does it have to do with bird rights, the 5 versus 4 year deal? But I don't think so.
Is it he's, for whatever reason, had it here and just wants out? That doesn't seem to be the case.
Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, he had a nice game last night. I know he had been struggling and everything like that, you know, in terms of efficiency. But, you know, I was out there in New York. I didn't get the sense that he was, you know, any kind of malcontent or unhappy or anything like that. So I'm not sure.
That's one of the issues I think a lot of people are having with this. I know I am. You know, you think of some guys that they're very demonstrative and they show you can see them when they're playing, they're unhappy. In different sports, De'Aaron, I think, is not like that. De'Aaron is like, he's like a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going to play the right way in front of you. So I think it's possible that if he were unhappy in that way, he just wouldn't show it the way other players would.
Right. He wouldn't take the Jimmy Butler style.
Right. I don't think so.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know why. You know, it's. Does it have to do with all NBA? No, I can't see that. Because
that's the only thing I can really think of, other than, like I said, the nuts and bolts of the contract, which are too convoluted for me to necessarily understand. But if he wants out, maybe he's had it with something here. I don't know.
Yeah, I like I said, I was just at the with the team in New York. He seemed normal at shoot around and practice and everything like that.
He's a professional.
Right. He is a professional. Normal pregame routine. Went out there and had a great game, helped the team get a W. But who knows? You know, I do find it interesting, though. Rich Paul is at the Sixers-Lakers game tonight in Philly. So he's on the road.
Who's in Philly tomorrow?
Exactly. Sacramento. And, you know, I think the Kings higher ups, the brass, they're on the trip as well out there on the East Coast. And so this will be interesting. You know, they're going to be having some talks and meetings and all that, like we've heard about. And I mean, shoot, we're 9 days away.
Yeah. From the 916. If he doesn't get moved or the Kings don't show good faith to move him, does he now just say, hey, my finger's effed up, I got to rest? I don't think he would do that, but I mean, there's definitely a threat implied in what his agent told the Kings. Better off trading him sooner than later. I don't know. I mean, I've seen the finger. I don't think the NBA could fine him if he said, no, I can't go.
Right.
It's definitely
it's definitely an issue. Yeah, exactly. And so, oh man, Kevin O'Connor put out a trade proposal. You want to hear this? You want to hear?
No.
AJ, I want to.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yes.
He one of those who says no.
All right.
Spurs get Fox. The Jazz get Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, 2 firsts, 2 seconds.
Wow.
The Kings get John Collins, Colin Sexton, and 2 first-round picks.
Ooh.
Colin Sexton and Collins.
Yeah.
And 2 firsts.
Depending on where the firsts are, I do not say no to that.
Really? That's enough for you?
I'd strongly consider
Jay,
that.
that's enough?
No. Because Colin Sexton's not even a starter on this team. And I mean, John Collins is borderline starter.
Okay.
I'm not even getting a starter back. Not a starter.
What about you, Drapes?
I like both those players.
I do too.
Here's the thing, though. Sexton's an undersized guard.
Mm-hmm.
We already got an undersized guard in Malik. Like, to Jay's point, I don't know if Colin Sexton is a starter on this team.
Depends on what the ones are. And I might be another one.
Right.
But I'm not shutting the door on that one right away like Jay is, like GMJ is.
Why? Because you're getting the Utah Jazz ones? Those that now, if I'm getting the Jazz ones,
I don't know.
have some
I don't
conversations.
even know if he.
No, I think it would be the Spurs ones.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm good.
Oh, the
I'm out.
Protecteds?
Well, yeah, we'd probably get the Jazz because the Jazz would get the Spurs number ones. We're not giving up any number ones or anything like that. And, the Kings get 2 firsts, which would probably be it doesn't make sense.
Does seem a little light.
Why
for
would the
De'Aaron
Jazz
Fox.
want to give up unless it was all Spurs picks that were going out? Yeah. Seems a little light, right?
Come on, Kevin O'Connor. You're better than that.
You got to be better than that. That's what he tweeted out about an hour ago.
Playing for a contender, then why the Spurs? Asked the 916. I know he's from Texas, but are the Spurs really contenders in his time frame? Well, the whole thing with the Spurs is the Wemby upside, right? Playing with Wemby.
Yeah, a lot of people think Spurs are the next thing coming with Wemby. And when you look at their season, sure, they've run into a little bit of a rough patch. They've gone 3-7 over their last day. They're 20-23. That could easily flip-flop with De'Aaron Fox on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got 2 stars you can build around out there in San Antonio.
Yeah. From the 530, it certainly means he's quitting on the season and the team, which is strange right now. It is. That's why you got to get it done, get it taken care of. Maybe even if he really is like, I want out, I might not even play him anymore.
I was going to say, know what's bothering me, fellas?
Yeah.
And I'll just put it out there because I've been trying to be a little nice, but it really, for the last couple hours, has really bothered me.
Okay.
I understand you hire an agent to do what agents do.
Mm-hmm.
I understand when you definitely hire Clutch Sports, Rich Paul and his posse. We know you're almost a hitman when it comes
writing's
to
on the wall.
Right, the writing's on the
Mm-hmm.
wall. My thing is this though, and this is the toughest part of it all. And I'm not asking De'Aaron to step out of his shell. I'm not asking De'Aaron to come out and say that, because when you do those things, a lot of times you become a malcontent in the league, and I don't want De'Aaron to be that. But I would also like a little second that motion, meaning from De'Aaron and or Rich Paul in the form of, don't hold me hostage, because we've seen that. We've seen them do Anthony Davis 6 years to the day. But also just come out and say, listen, he's not playing for y'all. Like all this trying to figure out smoke in the air, well, it behooves you. Yeah, like it'll behoove you to kind of not to let him go now.
Right.
Like, no, stand on it. Ain't you Rich Paul? Aren't you Clutch Sports?
You can't do that, though.
Why
right?
not, though?
The league will frown on that, right? Well, you could get fined for that.
Come on, man. They did it with AD. Why are you running from it now? You the all-powered Clutch Sports. You LeBron James. You got all the
publicly
love.
stating your trade demands. I think you get fined for that.
As an agent?
No, as a player.
Well, I'm not, again, Drapes, I'm not asking De'Aaron to do it.
No, but he's acting on your behalf, though.
Why is it okay for him to say, it'll behoove you to let him go right now, but compared to do like, you know what? Hey, man,
Are you
Trade him now.
suggesting, Drapes, that maybe that's what they're doing, but that you have to couch it when
Yeah,
you report
their
it?
circle.
There's
Yeah,
a certain way to go about it.
Right, right, exactly.
So don't
They're
go
not
to Jimmy
coming out
Butler.
and saying it, but they're saying it. You know. Now Jimmy Butler, his is an entirely.
He's standing on it.
He's standing
Yeah,
on
but
it.
he's doing a lot.
He's doing a lot. Yeah, he's taking that fine and getting suspended.
But haven't
and
we heard other situations, fellas, where it's like, you know what? He's done. He wants out and he continues to play. Like that's not
Did
what
James
we're
Harden
getting.
get fined? Remember when he was overseas and
With
said,
Brooklyn?
"I'll never play for Daryl Morey."
Daryl Morey's a liar.
Yeah.
The very start is
Yeah.
I wonder if did he get fined for that or, you know?
But haven't there been other situations? We hear it every year, it feels like.
Good question.
Where an agency comes out, or Shams or Woj or somebody, you know, Chris Haynes, they come out, Zach Lowe, somebody comes out and says, hey, this person is demanding a trade. They get fined for that?
I don't know. But I do think even if that is verboten, I think there's room there for De'Aaron Fox and his people to be a little more upfront about it.
Yeah.
Without drawing a fine.
Correct.
Yeah. So Harden got fined $100,000.
That's chump change, man.
Let
Clutch spin that, man.
But wasn't that for what he said specifically?
Yeah,
about,
yeah. It's, you know, he would not perform this, which he indicated he would not perform the services called for under his player contract unless traded to another.
But Drapes, that's him. Or his agent, but that was him. That came personally. I'm not asking for that.
But if you do that, Jay, then you blow it up even more. You know, you bring it like you bring more fire to the you pouring kerosene on the fire already.
So is kerosene not part of the fire today?
He's trying to do it in a smooth, dignified way.
Oh man, come on. Clutch is trying to do it in a smooth, dignified way right now. And from your perspective.
For now. This is their first was the comments De'Aaron made.
Yep.
Now it's this.
It's the warning shot.
It's the warning shot.
Okay.
And as you go forward, then it's going to be, you know, a more public demand.
Then let me say this. As the Kings, I would respond in a warning shot way, which is just what you said. I'm going to take you for your word because you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to be like, yeah, understood. But sometimes you got to get down and lay down.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it becomes the fact of your future, which is where the Kings are right now, De'Aaron Fox and what you do with this move is their future. In my opinion. Now, if you disagree with that, that's
it's like an existential question, not just the future, but everything you are and ever will be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm with you. Speaking of the Kings' identity, you know, Doug Christie talked about it last night. What does this mean for the Kings' identity going forward this year? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my all-electric SUV for a little more than a year, and I continue to love it day after day. In fact, me and my daughter, we were just on vacation not too long ago, and we rented a car while we were on the trip, and my daughter said, Dad, I like your car better. I turned to her and said, honey, you know what? I like it better as well. And I couldn't wait to get back home to my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. You know, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they are more than just a dealership. They're a partner you can trust throughout the entire entire ownership of your luxury vehicle. Whether it's a refined C-Class or a versatile SUV lineup, your perfect Mercedes-Benz is there waiting for you. Plus, right now, you can enjoy 3.24% APR for up to 72 months on certified pre-owned models on approved credit. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is your trusted partner in luxury and reliability. They've been doing it for more than 30 years. So head on down right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. Don't miss out on this special deal, regularly priced at $49.95, but for a limited time, only $39.95. Save $10 per silver bar. Limit of 25 bars per customer. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $250 in savings and free shipping on every order. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value free. Call 1-800-937-4707 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Bars for only $39.95. That's 1-800-937-4707.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
After the Kings won last night, beating the Nets, Doug Christie, I don't know what you thought about this, Drapes. I know you were doing pre and halftime and post. Doug Christie, he's still very positive, but he wasn't thrilled with that win. For him.
Right.
Like, well, we won. We still have some things to work on. And he talked about the team's identity. He said, we continue to build and solidify our identity, and that's the most important thing. That's what Doug Christie said. What does he do as the interim coach here, trying to hold things together about the team's identity now with it public? Everyone knows, De'Aaron Fox wants out. How does he hold things together?
Right.
What does that do to your team's identity?
I don't know, man. This is a crisis that, is now in the lap of Doug Christie. And how do you coach the guys with this news out there? De'Aaron's going to be in the practice tomorrow to shoot around, get ready for the game. What's your message to the team, right? It's, you still got a game to play. And so this will be a challenge. And I feel for Doug to have to go through that. I mean, think about it. They're 11-4, playing much better basketball. There's hope now. And then this gets dumped into your lap. And so it's tough, man. I don't, how do you, and you talk about identity when arguably your best player might be looking to go elsewhere. That's tough. That's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Here was Doug Christie after the game last night.
We got out of here with a W, and we continue to build and solidify our identity, and that's the most important thing. Winning is everything, but us solidifying who we are on a night-to-night basis, so we know what we're going to an arena with is paramount for us.
Didn't you think he was a little more? Well, he's more reserved after a win than we've seen him. Maybe he knew, what was going to happen today.
Yeah, exactly. It's he didn't seem to have as much gusto, if you will. You know what I mean? Like wasn't as upbeat, if you will. And so I'm looking at Twitter here, and I don't know if I should bring this up or not.
Do it.
Maxime Aubin, French sports journalist based in San Antonio.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So he's covering Wemby. Obviously, he's there to cover Wemby. He says, according to a reliable source in San Antonio, Fox and his family have already been working behind the scenes to prepare for the players' arrival with the Spurs. It's now up to the negotiations between the two franchises to succeed. Just one journalist on Twitter that threw that out there, says he's a French journalist in San Antonio. And so, did we say San Antonio 1, Houston 2? I forget what was our tier list, if you will.
All right, so let me propose a deal to you. I'm RC Buford. Drapes, I know you're representing the Kings in this matter, and these are all fine players. And I hate to part with any of these guys. We'll give you Jeremy Sohan. He's got some size, right? You guys need some size up front. We'll give you. Who do you want, by the way? I give you Keldon Johnson,
Give
Jeremy
me Wemby.
Sohan.
Give me Wemby.
Not gonna happen. You need a backup center. I'll give you the great Charles Bassey, and I'll give you 3 first-rounders. There you go. Done deal. It's a great offer.
So
thanks. Let me shake hands with you on that. Keldon Johnson and Charles Bassey, and 3 first-round picks. Let's shake hands on it. Done deal. Great working with you.
I don't know. Because those Spurs first-round picks, what years are we talking? Are they going to be in the 20s? Pick number 25, pick number 22. What do you got?
A bunch of them that are,
give me some other people's picks. Yeah,
I'll give you.
Give me some.
They're protected, but I'll give you our own first.
Nah, I don't want your first. I don't want the Spurs
we're
first.
Behind you.
No, but we're talking future first. RC Buford, click. Click. Let me get on the phone with Houston. Let me call Orlando. See if I get Franz Wagner or something like that.
But you can't do that because De'Aaron's already got a house and everything.
I wonder, too. Think about it. He's talking about 2 states without state income tax, too, right? 2 less expensive states to live in as well. Dude, what's happened to Keldon Johnson, RC? That's the question I have for you. 12 points per game?
He just needs a change of scenery. He's a phenomenal player. We hate to part with him.
He's coming off the bench for you guys. So how come you not even Harrison Barnes is starting over him?
He's shooting 29% from 3. He's been a little banged up. I don't know. It's a good question. That's why I offered you him and not Devin Vassell. You'll notice. Yeah, Keldon Johnson, actually, his star has kind of fallen over the last couple of years. But Charles Bassey's a fine backup center. You need a backup center. Look, I watch
Charles
you guys.
Bassey ain't it.
I'm RC Buford. I have league pass.
Charles Bassey ain't it, dude. Charles Bassey ain't it.
Well, work with me. You got to. What do you need? How can I help you? Help me help you.
What are the other draft picks you got? Remember you ran that?
That's not. I mean, we'll work something out.
What is
that's
it?
not going to be
Atlanta's
2025 first round pick from Atlanta.
Chicago.
2025 first round pick from Charlotte, protected 1 to 14.
Okay.
And 2025 first round draft pick from Chicago, protected 1 through 10. 2026 first round pick from Atlanta.
I want that one too.
2028 first round pick
from who?
Boston.
Oh.
All right, 2020. How about this? 2031 first round draft pick from Sacramento, the pick swap. You can have
I can get it back.
Plus your 2031 second rounder that you gave us.
Oh my gosh.
You can have them back.
That's not getting it done,
A show
RC.
of good faith.
That is not getting it done. And here's the thing, Rich Paul, according to the Sam Amick article, said, and I think it was Sam, that article I'm referencing, whether it's a preferred destination or not. So to me, that indicates all 29 other teams, hey, here's what we got.
But
yeah, exactly.
Grapes, they're not gonna, they know that that De'Aaron's gonna come to us, so they're not gonna give you much. And that's why I want to help you. That's why I'm trying to help you.
You're trying to fleece somebody out here.
You want Zach Collins? Is that gonna get it done?
That ain't getting it
gonna
done. You want to throw that in on the top
You guys
two?
originally drafted him.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. I'm holding out. I'm holding
Castle.
out. Now you're starting to talk. Yeah, I want Castle and
yeah,
Devin Vassell.
And that Boston pick?
No. 3 picks and like 2 pick swaps. Like seriously. If Mikal Bridges and the Knicks, New York gave up RJ Barrett and quickly, like and some picks. Like, come on, man.
So 3 picks and Vassell and slam dunk competition guy Stephon Castle. That's I'm not.
It's going to take a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, would that?
I don't
close?
know. That's
not.
I
a
don't
bad
know.
Package.
That's me though. I don't know. Is Monty going to do that?
That's not a bad package.
What was the
but
package again?
Well, you said Vassell and Stephon Castle. But I still find Monty's like, at some point I got to get some wings, right? I got to get some size. If I'm going to trade Fox, I might as well get a little bit of size back.
Who you throwing in then?
I offered you Zach Collins. You didn't want any part of that.
No, I'll take Zach as a throw-in, but he not a key part.
The problem with your package, and I'm talking as a Kings fan now, not as a RC Buford, Vassell and Stephon Castle are guards. And you just got, even if you trade Fox, you still got guards coming out of your ears.
But you need talent.
That's why you need
you
Sohan.
figure that out.
That's why you need Jeremy Sohan.
I need throw Sohan in too. I want Vassell, Sohan, and Castle. I want it all.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll get to the phones when we come back on this eventful Tuesday. Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports, 1140.
I just wanted to...
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Reeling in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Pardon me. Yes, I just wanted to circle back to the garage door story that I told yesterday because I've had some people commenting on that and asking me about it. And that is a true story that my mom and I came home from church one day and I got out of the car and I looked over and she was picking something up off the ground and she said, get inside. And she found a bullet because someone had taken a shot on my side of the car and one on her side. And one of the bullets was lodged in the garage door. We never found out what happened. Never had any problem since. But speaking of garage doors, if you need somebody to get a job done in your home, you want them to do it right. You want them to do it quickly. You want to be able to trust them and you want a fair price. Well, check. National Garage Door. National Garage Door is family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974. And that's because service is their number one priority. And they are the region's BSE or broken spring experts. They've got a lot of different doors. The styles and quality will surprise you as much as it surprised me. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. So if you have garage door needs, the old one's coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, then let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch. Let them be your big-time closer. 916-638-4554, National Garage Door.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
On the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From the 916, did you guys notice last night after the game there was no interaction between Jordy and Doug? Not even a wave or air dap from Doug as he normally does. Well, you can't see everything when it's on TV, but yes, I did notice that.
Oh, I didn't even notice it.
It's possible they did something, and then when we caught Doug that we'd already missed it. It's possible, but yes, I did notice that. Before we get back to the phones, Drapes, we're having some fun here with this talk of a deal between the Spurs and the Kings. I do think, just looking at the raw parts here, given that the Spurs have some picks that they could part with, and given the roster and some young players that you'd think they'd be willing to part with, I think there's a very good chance we have the makings of a deal.
You think so?
Don't you? And I'm not talking about you and me.
Oh, you're talking with general, the Spurs having picks and everything.
Yeah.
I
some
agree,
teams you look at and you go, oh, there's no way they can find a way. But I think there's a strong possibility.
No, I think so. They got picks. They got young players. It makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them in Houston, to me, both make sense. Both teams with picks and young players. That's what you want.
Yeah. It just depends on what exactly the Spurs are willing to give up, of course, what the Kings think of those players. That's the one thing we never know, right? Because you look at a trade and, they should trade this guy. And sometimes we don't know it, but Team A doesn't like player B.
Right.
It's like
that's
they
the thing.
don't think highly of him.
That's the thing. And that's what's holding up Jimmy Butler in Miami and Phoenix. Like, yeah, you got Brad Beal to give me, but we don't want Brad Beal, And so I look at San Antonio and I look at Houston with those young players. Like Castle would be a nice pickup to build around. A lot of people are high on him. I think also Vassell, and the treasure trove of picks they have. So a deal can be made, I think, with those teams.
So you're not as determined to get some kind of size back in this deal as I am. I mean, there's other ways you could do it.
Right.
You can still make another deal.
I mean, no,
I just don't want to trade a guard for like 5 more guards.
And I'm not as hell-bent on that for you as you are. Like, ideally, yes, but if the team don't have it, they don't have it. So
you want to see what TC has
to
say about it?
Yeah.
It's
TC.
time for Check It with TC. What's up, TC?
Mic check.
Hey, mic check. What's up with the big dogs? Drake, Whitey, Jay in the back. Already hollered at the homie.
What do you make of this eventful day, TC?
Remember, we was already talking about that before. Yeah. I still stand where I stand before. Hey, listen, check it out. We won't fall off the earth and we won't miss a beat with Malik and Devin running the show. I'm going to tell you that right now, Kings fans, I promise you. Look at Domas, 20 and 20 every time Malik, pick and roll and all that. But that's another conversation for another day. The trade package for San Antonio is Vassell, Castle, Sohan, and 2 first-round picks. That Atlanta pick they got, and Charlotte. That's it. That's the deal right there. Get the deal done. If you want to swing a 3-team trade, you can throw Utah in, and you can get John Collins, and you can send them Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and maybe our 2028 and something like that if you really want to dance. But that's it, bro. That's the trade. We ain't finna fall off the earth, bro. If 5 want to leave, man, we got to let him go. It is what it is, bro. But I'm telling you, Malik and Devin can hold the fort down with Keon, Keegan, and at that point we're gonna have Sohan, Vassell, and Castle, and whatever draft pick we got Carter coming off the listen, dude. We gonna be good. Monty, make it happen. If that's the move west, work what you gotta work, bro. That's it, man. That's all I got.
I think
Okay.
it's a really
You
good
like
chance
what
that
TC
happens.
said? All three of those players he was talking about?
Yeah.
He said Sohan, Vassell, and Castle.
Mm-hmm. And 2 firsts.
And 2 firsts.
Like it.
Okay.
You okay with that, Jay, in general?
General, I'm good. If we could
Okay.
spend a couple other ones like Castle, I mean, where's he fit here? Because you got Devin Carter
No, Castle is our starter going forward. Like, he's the guy you
as the one.
Yeah, he's the guy you build around.
Man, so you got no love for my boy Ahmed?
No, he plays alongside him just like Fox right now. Stephon Castle will probably be the prize of that trade coming back
Probably
to
so,
us, right?
Which that's what if you could spin him, but I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I mean, what was he drafted? 4th, 5th, something like that? 4th overall pick. Shoot.
I'd be surprised if the Spurs part with him, but if they're willing to, I think Kings fans are going to feel very good about this deal.
Yeah, you get Stephon Castle. I mean, and he defends too. He's a solid defender. Floor
He's in
general.
the dunk contest, like I
Right,
said.
right.
This is going to be one of the great dunk contests of all time.
Whitey.
You got him and Mac McClung and the other guy.
Basketball Reference list him at 6'6".
6'6", I know.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, which means
That's
he's
some length.
he's at least 6'4".
Right, right. He's somewhere there, 6'6" with shoes on, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Let's talk to Faraz on Sacktown Sports. How you doing, Faraz?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
What's
up?
Man, it's been a bad day. This whole Fox situation is this is crazy to hear all the stuff that's coming out, with Damian Garland in the morning, and then you got Shams coming on, and it's just like everything that could went wrong is going wrong, even after a win. It's like we can't catch a break.
Well, there's a path forward, though, for us. Don't give up hope. They could find their way out of this.
Man, hopefully, I'm just hoping Monty can, just become a little bit aggressive and try to make some moves coming out. We got to what? So next Thursday, Friday to make a move, whether Fox is on the team or not. Like, I'd rather see us go down till the wheels fall off, trying to make a trade to, give our core some depth instead of just trying to trade away our franchise player. Like, I know he's been kind of having his issues, ups and downs, but he's still a premier guard in this NBA, and I feel like he can ultimately help us get to where we want to be, but it would just suck to see us part ways with him.
Thanks, Faraz. I understand where you're coming from. To me, I was thinking, Drapes, we talked about this. Hey, if he's still making up his mind, everybody's on board, they want to have the same goals the rest of this year, then we'll see. But if the reports are true and he's already checked out, he wants out, then fine. Then we got to move on.
Right. And you've maintained that stance through the show. Like, he's already made it clear, I don't want to resign. And ultimately, the Kings got to do what's best for them. Monty and Wes and those guys, they got to decide, all right, is it best to trade him now? Is it best to hold on to him, trade him in the offseason? Whatever it is. Like, this is your prize asset. You got to get as much as you can for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, to Jay's point, TC's point as well, we're not, this fan base ain't ready for a fall off. We're not ready to take 3 steps back.
Wouldn't tolerate it.
Yeah, exactly. And so if it means getting something done sooner rather than later, go for it.
Yeah. And it's an unfortunate situation, but I'm over that. It's like, okay, that's fine. We got to deal with where we are. I'm not one of those, like, I understand where Faraz is coming from. And for a lot of people, I know a lot of people, they love De'Aaron Fox. This will be difficult. For me personally, it's like, okay, thanks, done. My point is this. If it is San Antonio, which is being reported, the Kings, in a way, I mean, they're fortunate that's the team involved because, as we were just saying, you could see a lot of possibilities here.
Right.
And they have to get it done. But, sometimes a guy says, I want to go there. And you look, it's like, that team has nothing to trade.
Yeah.
Then you got to get other teams involved.
Right.
So it could be worse, is all I'm saying. If you're going to have to trade De'Aaron Fox, if that's where he really wants to go, it could be a lot worse.
It could be worse. And to your point, young talent, picks, like, you wouldn't have to hit the reset button, if you will.
Right.
You're not bottoming out like Utah and any of these other teams, Brooklyn. You got some young pieces. Who knows? Castle could be your version of Shai Gilgeous that they got from the Clippers in that Paul George trade.
Yeah.
You just don't know, right?
If you got Castle, and again, I still don't think you will,
Mm-hmm.
but if you did, you could actually feel good about the trade. Not like, well, we did the best we could.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We got
feel like
this past
we got
year's
some
number
fun
4
catalyst.
overall pick. Yeah. That would be bad.
We'll get back to the phones when we come back on this busy De'Aaron Fox Day. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Happy New Grill. Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat as we did on Christmas Eve. Bring out all the flavors of the new year with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you Happy New Year. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Hey, Sacramento, it's time to party. Join us for the ultimate big game watch party at Mix Downtown, hosted by Sacktown Sports on Sunday, February 9th. Feast on Mix's all-you-can-eat taco and nacho bar and big game bites while watching the biggest football game of the year. Catch all the action on Mix's large projection screens and HD TVs. Doors open at 2 p.m. Kickoff is at 3. Mix Downtown, located at 16th and L Streets in Sacramento. It's 21 and over. So bring your crew and let's make it a game day to remember. For details, visit mixdowntown.net.
With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
There's no better time than the beginning of a new year to get ready to make good on all of those promises you've made to yourself about getting fit. And there's no better place than In Shape Fitness to get the ball rolling or bouncing. So grab some friends for a game of pickup basketball on our courts. Or stretch your limits in a yoga or Pilates class. In Shape personal trainers are standing by, just waiting for the opportunity to help you create a happy new you. We are In Shape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I like to hear and see Kings fans rallying behind this potential De'Aaron Fox trade, focusing on, wow, how about some upside for the Kings? There could be some. That's not just, oh, the Kings, everything's great. There actually could be some upside to this trade if they pull it off right. They didn't choose to be in this situation, but if San Antonio's a team, there's some potential here. Brandon Whiting on Twitter says, if we got Castle in a trade, would that open up Carter to be traded to Brooklyn for Cam Johnson?
Oh my God!
Then reroute a pick from San Antonio.
I'm about
Brooklyn.
to tap out.
Yeah,
I'm about to tap out. Y'all going too far down the rabbit hole. I'm about to tap out.
Sacramento Kings 1985 Forever Beam Team says on Twitter, we need these 3 and picks: Castle, Sohan, and Vassell. The problem with that potentially is Castle is 6'6", but he's a guard. Devin Vassell is 6'5", but he's a guard. And we have so many guards. I love those players. that if we lose a guard and get 2 more guards, we have too many guards already, Drapes, do we not?
Are those upgrades, though?
Yeah. I mean, Devin Vassell is probably better than some of the guys I have now. Yeah, but I'm already having a hard time fitting in all the guards I have. Malik getting major minutes. Obviously, Stephon Castle probably kind of slides into at least part of De'Aaron's role, right?
And and maybe you make other moves too. Like it doesn't have to be independent. You know, it's
that's the key, I think.
Yeah,
just if the Kings do this, it doesn't mean they can't do some of the other things they're talking about or something like it.
Right, exactly. And it might not even be this, in the next 7-8 days. It could be this off season too. You make some changes.
I don't care about that. I'm focused now. I'm focused on this
right
season,
now,
saving this year. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Robert's been hanging on. Hey, Robert, what's up?
What's up, guys? How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm good, man.
Good.
I've obviously, based on, I thought they were going to do something after this year anyways. When you don't sign that big boy extension, there's usually something going on, that's a lot of money. And to be honest with you, I don't think, obviously, even if we were to get Johnson, who we're looking at, or Collins, we're not winning the championship with the way the West is set up right now, in my eyes. So I think that Supermax really straps us in the future, because that puts us into luxury tax territory if we want to make moves. I'm ready. And here's the thing, and I look at this the same way in relationships. If you don't want to be a part of me, peace. I'm good. We're going to find a way. We got a great fan base. We got a great community, a great state of California to live in with great weather, a good, excellent stadium. If you don't want to be a part of that, especially with Doug Christie is going to build us. He's going to get the job. I know. As long as we keep going in the direction he is, Christie is a worker. He is. I'm telling you, you guys have been around him long enough, and I've seen him play and his work ethic. He sets the tone, and I'm happy for what he has an opportunity to be able to get the job full time and be named the head coach. I don't care personally where Fox wants to go. I care about what's best for our team. If he goes to San Antonio, Castle needs to be included in the deal. If he's not included in the deal, you're going back east, my friend. I'm putting you out of the Western Conference. I don't care what. Rich Paul is a punk in my eyes. He only cares about Rich Paul, not his guys. And that's just how it is and how I see it and how everybody he deals with. That's how it goes down. If San Antonio really wants him and that's where Paul wants him and that's where Fox wants to be, you're going to pay. Because Fox has value. We need to just take advantage of that value. And if we get Castle and Brissell and 2 number ones and somehow move Carter and get Johnson, picture a lineup. Just picture Castle, Monk, Murray.
I like it.
Johnson.
Yeah.
And the big boys from Lithuania. Not Lithuania.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's from Lithuania. Thank you, Robert.
We're looking good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Robert.
I like that. I mean, yeah, as far as Stephon Castle goes, like, well, wait a minute. If De'Aaron Fox is there and he's your point guard and you have Chris Paul, you have to trade him. You
got to make
he's
some
a young
moves.
guy. You got to play him.
Right.
One thing I saw today early in the afternoon, and I think it was from a San Antonio site, they've been excited about this for a long time. One of them suggested a package that would go to the Kings, including Chris Paul.
We don't want that.
No, we ain't
right?
want that.
Nah, that's not it. How about this?
Unless they have something that's already on the back to spin them somewhere else already.
Yeah. Brian Lewis, New York Post, talking about the Brooklyn Nets, says, quote, Brooklyn sees Kings as a trade target. Those sources tell the Post that Giannis is still the ultimate prize. He goes on to say, sources that spoke with the Post have said since last month that the perception around the league is that San Antonio is a leader in the clubhouse. In short,
for Fox?
Yeah, for Fox. Brooklyn would have its work cut out to 1, outbid the other suitors, and 2, persuade Fox, who can become an unrestricted free agent in 2026.
They got who's Sean Marks, right? Is the GM there? Brooklyn?
Yeah.
So he's got to get on the phone with Rich Paul. Hey, you know what? This is a perfect situation for you, guy.
And then he got to call Monty up and be like, hey, De'Aaron would come here. Here's
Right.
what we had. So you
Right.
got to convince two sides to
Let me
make
get
it
both
work.
them cams. I take both cam. Give me both them
Both
cams.
cams,
Yeah,
huh?
give me
Cam
both
I am.
cams. Now we talking. Now that's a package I'm starting to listen to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both camps. Come on now.
I'm my heart is set now on some of these Spurs guys.
Oh,
he's
like,
come on, why
Spurs
you don't
guys.
waffle in the
No, there's a
wind?
way I can spin them. I can get it all, Jay.
I got you. Okay.
I can get it all. But I don't know about sending De'Aaron to Brooklyn. You know, they're not going to want to send a lot of first rounders because they're trying to save their first rounders so that they can make a play for Giannis. I don't know. I don't see it as clean of a fit for me.
Okay. All right.
That's my side deals. Like after I do the thing with the Spurs, then I'm making a side deal to get Cam still. I haven't given up on that.
Okay. All
Am
right.
I wrong?
Does both the cams interest you?
I don't like the other Cam as
You
much
like
as
Cam
you do.
T?
He's a real big scorer, I know, but I don't know that I need him as much.
I'm looking at Brooklyn's picks. They got their own this year, which they aren't trading. There's no way they trade that, right?
Right.
Not in this draft. They got the Bucks top 4 protected. They got Phoenix pick, and they have the Knicks first round pick this year.
So that's like 20 something.
Yeah, Phoenix will probably be what? 18, something like that.
I don't know. I saw them last night. They look pretty good.
They look good last night?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know. You know, and we don't know what they're going to do either.
Right.
And how that's
Right.
going to affect where that pick is. Let's see. How about Jay joining us here on Sacktown Sports? Hello, Jay.
Hey,
What do
how
you
you
say?
What's
How
up,
you
Jay?
guys doing?
Good.
Good. Well, I mean, today we got hit with a bomb, and I just wanted to talk about, you know, what's going on in my mind. See, me personally, with all due respect, I think you guys are asking for too low. I think if the Spurs want Fox, right, a team like the Spurs, you're going to have to give up someone like Wembanyama. And you guys might be thinking, obviously, that's not going to happen. But my point is, then that's not going to happen either for Sacramento. I think these young guys, they're not worth they're not worth De'Aaron Fox, Vassell and Castle. I'm not really feeling that, honestly. So I wanted to get your take on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think you need to ask, you know, for your cake and then some. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, like you say, Wemby we were joking about that earlier.
Right.
We're really upset about the whole thing. That's where we want Wemby. Ha ha, no, we want Wemby. But if you could get Sell, Castle, Anut Sohan, and 2 or 3 picks, to me, I think you're getting close to value.
Yeah, and to reference the last caller, I mean, if the Spurs picks, package doesn't entice you, you got to do something. Like you can't, like the Kings are only in a position of strength to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Fox has, and his representatives have indicated, hey, he's not going to resign, as you get closer to him, his contract being up, I feel like you lose some leverage.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So
that's why, from the Kings standpoint, why don't we just wait till the offseason?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's their threat, whatever that's worth. But also, like you say, then all of a sudden the other teams know you got to trade him.
You got to, you're getting desperate now. You got to make a move now.
Yeah. Whereas now, if you're the Kings, we have a number of teams that have a lot of interest. So let's talk. Yeah. How about we got Matt on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Matt. What's on your mind?
Oh, drama in Sacktown. Did the last caller say Wemby?
I think he might have. Yeah.
I think he was joking.
He's aiming high. Aiming high.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk. De'Aaron Fox, thank you, bro. Thank you for all your years that you gave us. But we need a leader. We need a leader on this team. Again, great player, loves Fox, but I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on to the next chapter.
Do you say that, Matt, with any bitterness in your heart, or is it like, hey, thanks?
Yeah, I'm a little bitter.
Oh, are you?
I'm a little bitter. Yeah, I'm a little bitter.
And you're not a bitter person, are you? You're not really a bitter person.
No, never bitter. But no, I'm grateful for Fox, all the years he gave us. But I mean, he wants out of there. We got to make some moves, but it's got to be for something good, though. But the last caller saying Wemby.
He said Wemby. Yeah, he said Wemby and also the Riverwalk. And I think that's probably a little.
Is that what he said too?
Yeah. It's probably a little much to ask for.
I'll let him go.
All right. Boy, you terrible.
Right?
He wanted everything, right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I'm with It was Jay, right? You know what? Let's stop talking about my guy Jay because he got a great name. But Jay, I'm with him. I'm shooting for the stars. I'm not settling. Now Wembanyama's crazy. He's probably the most untouchable star almost in the league at this point, I would imagine. One of top 3.
Yeah.
But everything else on their roster should be fair game. I'm with that.
Yeah, that's probably the only not the only reason because he's from there, right? Or his family's from there. But that's the main reason he wants to go to San Antonio.
Yeah, play with Wemby.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll wrap things up when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Wednesday night, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Make a smarter resolution this year. Grab the keys to a new Toyota hybrid and turn everyday drives into exciting adventures. Now is the time to shop great deals. Choose between 16 Toyota hybrid models from the longest-lasting brand on the road. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Go further with more MPG in a new Toyota hybrid.
Grab the keys, come on, let's go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Wasn't De'Aaron Fox 20 when he was a rookie? I think he was 20 as a rookie. Stephon Castle is 20. He turned 20 November 1st.
Okay.
I was just looking at their career numbers. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox's career numbers are much more impressive at this point than Stephon Castle's. But I think that would be a plum if the Kings were able to get him.
Yeah, I think everybody's high on him, man. League wide, most people consider him a future star in the making. Stephon Castle, number 4 overall pick. I get it. Like, that's the thing. It got to be a slam dunk.
That would almost be getting him would almost be like getting a first round draft pick.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing you said about Devin Carter, potentially going to Brooklyn. It's like getting the first round pick. I mean, and Castle sort of is learning under Chris Paul right now. I think, as Todd says, King's Castle has a good ring to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Learning under CP3, and I'm high on that kid. I think he's going to be tremendous.
Yeah, that's the deal as far as I'm concerned.
All right, son.
What we say, Vassell, Castle, and Sohan, and 2 firsts.
That's
I'm good with
that's a
that.
haul right there.
Can I get a third team in there and throw me like a big, a bench
Damn,
big?
Jay.
So in 6'8", but yeah, I know where you're.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
James, I can't get a Matisse
I
Stibbles.
know Jay trying to get a little greedy. He want
Yeah, I
everything,
want somebody,
right?
the big man,
Yeah.
Diabate or somebody in there.
It's like as long as we're going to the trouble, right? We might as well get all our shopping done at one time.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, exactly. Might as well, go to the discount bin, see what you could get on the 2-for-1 pile and everything like that. So
How
I get it.
difficult do you guys think it'll be for the Kings to, assuming they make this trade now, to make this trade and end up with one that a lot of fans, maybe not a majority, but a trade that you have a lot of your fans that feel good about? Because it's De'Aaron Fox. No matter what, there's going to be a certain segment of your audience, your fan base is going to go, oh, it's terrible. What are the odds you pull some off where you got a good chunk of your fan base that goes, all right, I'm down with that?
See, as much as your package sounds great, and I don't even know if that makes them feel that way, right? Like it got to be a known commodity coming back, and some of those young players, I think, aren't really known household names, commodities. Yeah.
One thing that helps from that standpoint is it's pretty clear that De'Aaron Fox wants out. So a lot of fans are going to be, like we've been saying, all right, if he wants out, then you got to trade him. But what do you think, Jay? You know how it is. You know how Kings fans feel about their superstars. What are the odds that Kings are able to make a trade for De'Aaron Fox that leaves maybe not the majority, but a good chunk of your fan base going, all right, good job?
Oh, that's
tough.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, I'd say low odds, like 40%. Yeah, to kind of split the hairs. Yeah. I mean, Ramsey walked in there and he said something that we all know. It's a great point. I know we haven't really said it, is Sacramento gets, I'm trying to choose my words lightly. Sacramento definitely, we support our stars, right? We get behind our stars. We have an affinity for our guys. And so I think that's part of the issue that's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to say low percentage. I think in other places, man, some of these, New York, LA, Chicago, all those type of things, they probably like, good riddance, goodbye, let's go, right? Here it's like we're torn. So I'm going to say low.
If it comes to that, the real danger would be, let's say he goes to San Antonio, De'Aaron Fox does, and he takes off again.
Yeah.
Then you'd have fans going, wait, you didn't draft Luka because of Fox. Now you traded Fox. So they're both gone.
Wait a minute. Yeah, and you also traded Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what Dwayne thinks of all that on Sackdown Sports. Hello, Dwayne. What's up?
Hey, what's up, you guys? I appreciate you taking my call, man. It's just a random that I started watching the screen. But San Antonio, that ain't it, man. They don't even have what we need. Let's not help them get better by giving them Fox. And about Fox, we got to keep Fox because Devin Carter, I don't think he's got it. So we got to keep Fox. But I think if we make the right trade with all these plays that we've been throwing out there, if we make the right one, Fox will change his mind. He'll change his mindset if we make the right trade. I think it may be that's getting under his skin. I'm just wondering if Monty's even going to do it. And I hope for the Sacramento fan base, for all of us that want to go and see and watch the Kings move up in the West and see what we can do in the playoffs. I think I'm not sure if Monty's even going to make a trade at this point, guys.
All right. Thank you, Dwayne. I think you talked about that early on, Drapes. You said, look, you got to go to him and see, is there anything we can do?
Right.
Fox changing his mind? Is that even on the table?
I feel like we've already resigned that Fox is gone.
Yeah, that door was
it's
closed, and
right.
Dwayne's like, open it again.
No, it's just I don't know. I'd love to hear from Fox, and when he comes back from this, and who knows? Chris Biederman, as a Sac B, is out on the road with these guys. I believe he's in Philly. Maybe he asked the question.
Maybe.
No,
Tracy's got to.
He's got.
Come on.
He's good reporter, too. He asks those questions.
He might not be made available.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Maybe he gets the chance to ask the question.
Then, but real quick, why do you answer this? Don't answer this.
Why do you answer this one? Jay trying to put me in a bad spot here. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. If De'Aaron within the next 3-4 days isn't made available, what does that tell you about the organization?
Tells me that they're acquiescing to his desire not to be made available. If a guy doesn't want to talk about it and you throw him out there, you're just adding fuel to the fire. If he wants to talk, like, yeah, but if he's like, I don't want to talk to anybody, I think that it's in the organization's best interest to go, yeah, De'Aaron's not available.
Do you hide him for up until February 6th?
You know, it depends if you're going to trade him or not. If you're going to trade him, then like hide him, and then when he's gone, it's like open season. But you know what I mean, Drapes?
Yeah, Drapes, don't answer that. Don't answer that.
If De'Aaron makes it clear, like, yeah, I don't want to address this publicly, I think it's in the team's best interest to say, okay, I do. Now, I don't know if you can. Will the team get fined or something for that? I don't know. The players have to be made available.
There's a choice, right? There's a choice of.
No, I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
We saw it last year.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the way things have gone since Mike Brown, we haven't heard a lot from anybody, so I don't think we're going to hear from De'Aaron Fox. Jay, do you?
Yeah. I say no. Yeah, I say no. But it was interesting. The thought crossed my head is what happens if, let's just say right now, De'Aaron goes for 40 tomorrow. It's going to be tough to keep him off that podium.
Right.
But
if he goes off.
Yeah. It's going to be tough to keep him off the podium. But I do think it probably more times than not, and you guys know, I'm always like get in front of the narrative. I think this may be one of those times as an organization, you might have to just say, okay, look, we're going to tuck Mr. Fox over to the right and let us do what we do until it's all said and done.
Yeah. We wanted to go for 40, right? Because then, if
50.
anything, you get more.
Oh, my gosh. I'm not getting
Drapes, don't.
Another 60 burger.
Drapes, put your feet
We're
up.
witnessing history, said a wise man.
Jay.
Yes, sir.
I can't wrap my mind around it. We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. See,
Well-
I mean, think about it. Doug's going to have to answer questions about it too
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Like you said, Doug's going to be made available. Chris
That's
Peterman
pretty
will
easy.
be out
I mean,
there.
it's annoying, but he just has to say, it's the
Coach talk.
The GM.
Right.
That GM's taking care of that, and I'm focused on the team, guys.
Yeah.
And then he'll get that maybe 2 or 3 times and just, I already answered that question. I have nothing for you on that.
Coach talk. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Give us the coach talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's out of my hands.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this, it's a business. You know how it is. This is a business. It's out of my hands. That's a question for the front office.
We'd all like to think, we'd love for a coach to go, I really knew he was unhappy.
Right,
when I said
right.
this. And I'll tell you the guys I would get. And I can't really say, but there's some players on these other teams we would love for the coaches to go there.
Drapes. I know. I understand. And I'll be honest. I think you of everybody, you have a lot tied into, what's going on.
Right.
But it may come to fruition, big dog. You might have to get used to it.
I just got to get through these next 9 days, fellas. Get through these next 9 days with all this trade chatter and everything. Once February 7th happens, I'm good.
Today's just the beginning.
I know.
Today is just
I don't know if I can handle it anymore. I don't know if I can handle it.
It's not even hors d'oeuvres yet. This is the drink before you get seated at the table.
Hey, at least it's a short show tomorrow.
Yes.
Short show.
This is the drink at home before you even go out, right?
I don't even the car yet, Jay.
Dude, I'm already hungover. What y'all talking about, dude? Shoot.
So tomorrow you're in San Francisco. We get ready
Yes.
for the Kings and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sixers putting it on the Lakers tonight, too, as AD is out with an abdominal. 73-57 is your score.
Yeah.
Advantage of the
halftime.
back-to-back.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, 27 in the first half.
They'll be dog tired tomorrow night.
That's
They
what I'm
got
hoping.
Embiid.
No
Yeah.
Paul George either, so.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Scheduled win?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Hopefully.
So we'll talk to you tomorrow, Drapes, from
Yes,
San Francisco.
yes.
Thanks for being with us. We're just getting warmed up with all this, so don't miss tomorrow's edition of the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.